audio at SacktownSports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake.
There are tough losses, and then there's whatever that was last night, Drapes. You had the call, of course. Man, you talk about it. As you said, heartbreaker. Drive Guys coming to you from the Golden One Center. Kings back at it tonight against the Knicks, but what was that trip home like last night?
That was brutal, man. We, I sat there after the final buzzer sounded, sort of stunned in disbelief.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought, we gutted it out. We, delivered haymakers to them. They tried to hit us back. Derrick Jones Jr. hitting big threes down the stretch. I mean, you look at the game plan. That's the guy. If anybody's going to hit, a three big shots, or he's the guy you want open. And then Kawhi Leonard, who did jack all game, was a non-factor, was a glorified role player, hits the biggest shot, arguably of the season for the Clippers. Because if they would have lost that game, Kings are back in it tiebreaker-wise. Kings are ahead of them in the standings. And that was a massive shot. And tip your cap to Kawhi, man. He made a hell of a shot there.
Yeah, I think he would have scored more points if he'd gone to that left-handed hook a little earlier.
Right. That was the one thing that was working, right? The one time he went to it, he got the friendly roll. And I'm like, come on. Seriously?
I didn't even realize that till maybe the first replay. It's like, wait, he shot that left.
Right.
Left-handed hook. Bounce. Oh, man. About third quarter, it looked like, well, it didn't look like it. The Clippers were getting a little bit of separation. Yeah, and I thought the Kings looked kind of tired. Their transition defense had been bad. They've been settling for some poor shots. And I was thinking, I don't know. This is not looking good. And then all of a sudden, they didn't look tired anymore. They came roaring back.
Yeah, they found some energy, because I turned to Katie during one of the timeouts and said, man, we look sluggish there.
Yeah.
For I would say second quarter and into the third quarter.
Yeah.
Like, we're a little step slow out there. And then I don't know what happened, whether it was the timeout that Doug called or whatever, but we came out and went up and took the lead.
Yeah.
A nice little, I think it was 12-3 run, that gave us the lead there. And so I thought it was a hell of a game, Whitey. I thought it was, question. You could tell two teams understood the importance of last night's game. I didn't feel like anybody was limping around or, taking possessions off or anything like that. I thought for the most part, both teams were dialed in. And I thought, honestly, the Kings did a hell of a job defensively, too. I mean, to hold Kawhi Leonard, to 5 of 17 shooting, I think it was. Give James Harden some credit. I mean, that dude's a top 75 player for a reason. But I thought it was a hell of a game, man.
Yeah, the Kings had, with 6 minutes to go, I think they were up 4. With 5 minutes to go, they were up 2. With 4 minutes to go, they were up 5. With 3 minutes to go, they're up 4. It's like, can they just hang on, just hang on, just hang on? And I thought a couple of bad possessions down the stretch of regulation. They almost won anyway, but robbed them of their best chances to win. And then Zach shot. I thought Zach said, just reading his lips, I thought he said, thought I had it.
Yeah,
on the potential game winner.
Yeah. I thought he had it too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a shot we've seen Zach hit, in his career. And man, that thing, it's a game of inches, centimeters, really, if you look at it. Kawhi shot, bounces softly on the rim, and then Zach shot, bounced around and then out, and it was just like, oh, man. And then you know how it is, too, Whitey. You go into overtime, and, I would argue most teams, home teams have the advantage. I don't have the statistics, but
sure, you'd think so.
Yeah, you would think that the Clippers have the momentum. They're back into this game and everything like that. And so, yeah, it's a tough loss, man. And, I've stayed off of sports talk radio today because I didn't want to hear any hot takes or anything like that. And, I was preparing myself for what you would say for this game as well. And so
what I would say.
Yeah, because, last week when we lost against Denver, Jay told me, oh, man, Whitey was on one after they lost to Denver. How you going to lose that game? This is a must win. That can't happen and all that. You seem kind of calm, cool, and collected.
That's a tough one. Here's the thing on that, not going back to revisit last week's loss against Denver. There were some similarities, but I'll just say this about that and we'll move on. We keep saying now, we all agree, if you win right now, right, this time of year. It doesn't matter who's playing, who's not playing, how you win. Right. You win. I think a loss is a loss, too. That's all I'm saying. So whether you had a good road trip, this time of year, it's like, man, that was a tough one. Another tough one last night. As Keegan said, we're having trouble controlling the game down the stretch. I think a lot of that has to be due to the fact that these guys as a unit just have not played together for very long.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Zach LaVine's played, 14 games? And he was the first guy that made his Kings debut. Valanciunas, Jake LaRavia. I mean, think about it. Why did it spend, a month, this team together, And I'm listening to Sports Talk Radio, NBA Sirius. I can't listen to the local guys today because I just knew where everybody was going to go. Can't listen to the local guys. But the thing about it, Whitey, is you can't just put together 5 players, throw them in the microwave and have a finished product, especially when you're without 2 of your best players. And so, as I said to the security guard walking in today, last night's game hurt, but I'm not angry. I'm not throwing, box scores left and right. I'm not going on the post-game show if I did that. Oh, man, this is terrible. What are we doing?
Right.
No, this wasn't, to me, one of those losses, It was like, damn, we should have had that. Man, it hurts. But you move on. You got the game tonight. They're 8-4, Whitey, over their last 12 games. You know what I mean? And so you're not going to go 20-0 or 19-0 the rest of the way. And so you just got to take it one game at a time. We lost that one. Let's win tonight.
Well, a lot of people are very angry, just judging by what I'm seeing on social media, and they're angry about the officiating again. A lot of people are saying, I'm not saying this. I don't agree with this. I understand where fans are coming from, though, when they say that's 2 games in a row the officials took the game away from the Kings. It was an odd call on DeMar DeRozan's jump shot, initially a foul, and then it was overturned when there clearly was contact. I know you and Katie went over the various interpretations of that. But a lot of Kings fans very upset today about the officiating.
Well, here's the thing. Let me say this. Let me say this. I thought last night was entirely different than what we saw in Denver.
Agreed.
I thought in Denver, we kind of got jobbed in that game.
Yeah.
I thought last night, I disagreed with the call overturning the foul. Like, to me, that's a foul. It wasn't a high-five contest, Whitey, hand-to-hand. He raked him across the wrist. And I said it during the broadcast, we got to strike the word marginal out of NBA lexicon, because what the hell does marginal mean? Like,
it means whatever the official wants it to mean, as you said last night.
Right. It's like, what do they gather up? Hey, was this marginal to you? You take a vote. You take a vote. You take a vote. All right, it's 2-1. We vote it was marginal. No, it needs to be more concrete, more black and white. There's too much gray area when it comes to that kind of call. And the official said it was after he released the ball, maybe by a split second. Like, and as well as I do, Whitey, whether it's shooting, whether it's whatever sport, the follow through is key.
Right.
Holding the follow through is key. They teach you that in grade school. And DeMar DeRozan was robbed of that opportunity. I thought that was a horrible call. DeMar goes to the line, makes 3 free throws. We walk out of there with a win. That, that's a tough call, man. That's a tough call last night.
Yeah, that's really tough. I saw a lot of pictures today. People have the pictures on their X accounts of DeMar. The ball's in the air and he's trying to follow through and there's contact.
Yeah.
So people are going, there you go, it's a foul. Well, according to the NBA, if the ball was already released, then the contact to the wrist is incidental. I was stunned that they went to the review, because the review, they look at everything. Sometimes the naked eye, hey, you do your best. But when they're slowing everything down, you can see DeMar going to the official afterwards going, he was more confused and angry.
Yeah.
He hit me on the wrist. But I guess the way the NBA looked at it, I think initially they'd called some of the body contact, which wasn't there, but still a foul's a foul. However, the NBA feels once the ball was on its way, it doesn't matter if you get hit on the wrist.
But here's the thing. And, I haven't checked the 2-minute report. Have you looked at it today?
I've been looking for it.
It should be coming out here. And you're not up yet, Kyle. Should be coming out here any second now. Like, does the NBA feel that way, or did these 3 officials feel that way? And I just look at it last night. Still not up yet. The 2-minute report, just checked. Still not up yet. Like, as a fan, the word marginal leaves you room to either justify your call or change your call, And so to me, that leaves too much in the hands of the officials, too much of a gray area in the hands of the official. what the hell is marginal? Like, we may have to get somebody on the phone, Joe DeRosa, or somebody from the league office, to let me know what the hell does marginal mean in terms of contact in the NBA. And could it, because I would do a follow-up question, could marginal be different from one official to the next?
Yes, because it's judgment.
Right.
It comes down to judgment. So it's not black and white. So marginal means I didn't think it really impacted the play. You know, I'm not saying they're right. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying from their standpoint, how can they have these definitions? It gives them so much wiggle room for interpretation.
And you just said it. In their eyes, it didn't affect the play. Ask any Kings fan.
Yeah.
Was that marginal contact? They say, no, it definitely affected the play.
Yeah.
And see, so you got, it should be a black and white situation, and it's not. And to me, they got to do something. Maybe I'm the only one on my soapbox because I haven't heard coaches say this. I haven't heard executives say this, but marginal is a cop-out to me. Mm-hmm. That's a cop-out.
Yeah, we'll see if the officials pop up in Drape's Takes, which are up next from the Golden One Center on Sacktown Sports.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. New Hondas are piling up, and that means big savings for you.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
That game last night was exhausting. I can't imagine it was like calling it.
It was rough. It was because you know what it was too, Whitey? There was a point, I think it was to start the third, where there wasn't much flow either.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was pretty choppy.
It was pretty kind of choppy.
Yeah.
And then there wasn't flow offensively. It wasn't like, both teams are scoring 120. Like, it was an old school basketball game. Fight it out. Two great defensive teams as of late. I'm throwing the Kings in there as of late defensively. I'll talk about them coming up in Drape's Takes. But, man, that had like a playoff kind of vibe almost between those two teams.
Yeah, that was a tough one. But we'll get through it together. And another game tonight for the Kings. Right now it's time for Drape's Takes.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
Hell of a weekend for the Sacramento Kings. Whitey, remember, we haven't talked about what happened Friday night So I got to include that in Drape's Take. Mm-hmm. The Kings go 1-1. Obviously wanted them to go 2-0. Wanted them to win that game last night. But I woke up today exhausted, no doubt about it. We didn't get back till about 12:30 or so last night. I woke up today feeling optimistic, and here's why. It's going to be a long road. We understand that. You're a game and a half behind the Clippers. But this team is playing arguably the best basketball, I could say, since the Beam Team 1 era. Because here's the thing, Whitey. They're doing it on both ends of the floor. That Clippers team we saw last night is one of the top defensive teams in the league. And we matched them possession by possession by possession. I feel like I've seen a large enough sample size, Whitey, to say this team has figured it out defensively. Now, when Domas comes back and Malik comes back, we got to see if those guys, if it's still the same. But what I've seen defensively from this team, they're in every single game. They're fighting hard. They're making life difficult. Think about it like this. Let's look at the last 3 games. Jokic struggled, right? He put up some numbers, but it wasn't Jokic that we're used to seeing.
He didn't have a very good game for him at all.
Exactly. De'Aaron Fox struggled, locked him up, threw him in Alcatraz. Last night, Kawhi Leonard locked him up. And so, to me, what I'm seeing is, and Doug talked about this, and he was asked about this after the game, about Luke Louts leaving, who would quarterback the defense, and I'm sure we'll get into that coming up in just a little bit. Doug is taking a hands-on approach and is doing some things differently defensively, and this team is buying in. Hell, DeMar's looking solid defensively. Zach LaVine is looking good defensively. And so I'm of the belief that, we're not going to be a top 3 defensive team over 82. But those straight line drives that we saw earlier in the season, Whitey, those wide open threes from star players, because if Derrick Jones Jr. is getting a wide open 3, well, you took away Kawhi and James Harden. He knocks it down, tip your cap to him. Same thing with Russell Westbrook, tip your cap. Like, that's by design. You don't want to give up the corner 3. I understand that. But if somebody's going to shoot a 3 on that Clippers team, I want it to be Derrick Jones Jr. And so I feel like defensively, Whitey, this team has definitely turned the corner, and I think this is who they are. Now, when Malik and Domas come back, I need them to buy in the same way and play and compete like we've been seeing the last few games.
I will say the guy that killed the Kings last night was Ivica Zubac.
Oh, he's a beast.
Yeah.
That dude is a beast. Look at his numbers. You know, I did the game last night. I think he's averaging, 20-something points this month. 22 points. Like, his offensive
here's an
numbers.
update for you.
Oh, what we got here? Jason Anderson. Sacramento Kings guard Malik Monk not listed on the injury report. Jake LaRavia and Jake Crowder are questionable. Domas is out. So Malik is back in action tonight.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this
Here, yes.
as we continue with Drape's take. The lack of a point guard, to me, it reared its ugly head, not for the full game last night, but there are certain times during the game, whether it's the start the third quarter, whether it was in the fourth quarter, where the offense sort of bogs down.
Right.
And not having a traditional point guard, I think, has hurt this team. Not fully, not for 48, but just certain instances, I feel like.
I agree, absolutely. But I'm also not sure that Malik would fix that. Because I think we had some of those problems even when he was here. I think you're exactly right. But I think, is Malik that guy that can solve all that? He's played well, but I'm not sure he's the answer to that either.
And let me continue the takes with this, Whitey. I don't know about the point guard position in the NBA anymore. And here's why I say this. Is Dame Lillard a point guard?
Not really.
But he plays the point guard role.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I could argue Steph Curry's not a point guard. I've said that before.
Right.
And so what kind of point guard do the Sacramento Kings need, do you think, ideally going forward? Malik's doing a hell of a job, and I think he's still developing, learning the teammates, learning how to run the team. But is it Alonzo Ball? Is it a Rajon Rondo type pass first that can knock down some shots? Like, what do you think?
I think it's just somebody, be it a guard or not, who can organize you at that end. Like with the Warriors, it's Draymond Green, and it's been DeMar DeRozan of late with the Kings. Usually it's been Domas, but their last night he had 10 assists.
Yes.
Yeah, doesn't have to be a point guard, but you need somebody to keep you organized at that end.
Yeah, and that brings me to DeMar. I thought he was fantastic. Everybody will get on him for that late shot, the brick that he threw up. You know what? But the dude was balling out there. Like, he during the run that got us back in the game, he had some tough shots. And,
he made all 12 of his free throws, too. They were big.
Got to the free throw line. And here's the thing. Kawhi, hey, where the music at, Kyle? Wait a minute, dog. Drape's take ain't over, big fella. Keep it going. Here's the thing. After the game, Kawhi Leonard talked about DeMar DeRozan and how tough he is, the tough shots he was making. DeMar DeRozan, 31 points, 10 assists, 1 turnover last night for DeMar DeRozan, Whitey. This dude, and I'm going to throw Zach in, they've been as good as advertised. I'm going to be honest. I have zero complaints about these two guys because here's the thing. When DeMar DeRozan hits the clutch shots, we're clapping. When he misses, the offense can't bog down. You can't be in my opinion, you can't be reactionary like that. If DeMar is our closer, he's going to miss some shots, but he's going to make some also.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I do think the one shot that you're talking about, it was a bad shot.
How much was on the clock on that one?
I don't know,
I
but it
can't
was a
remember.
forced 3, and it wasn't close. It was almost like he was trying to make up for the call he didn't get before. But other than that, yeah, I mean, you look at the numbers, they were great. And they would have lost by what, 15 without him?
Yeah.
Maybe 8.
Right.
Maybe 8.
How about my boy Jake LaRavia?
Yeah,
How about the
Saudi
decision?
Arabia. Wait, is he going to call Saudi Arabia?
I'm never going to do that. But for Doug to turn to Jake LaRavia in clutch minutes, not because of the offense, but because of his defense, I actually thought he did a great job defensively out there on James Harden. And Harden, is one of the all-time greats. But I understood the reason why he went with Jake LaRavia at times over Keon Ellis. And they both played over 30 minutes, mind you, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Jake did a hell of a job defensively.
One of my favorite plays he made defensively was on a shot that Harden actually hit because he contested it, didn't foul. That's so hard.
Was that one a three there?
Yes.
That was a tough three that he hit, too. That's James Harden being James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
Usually he gets a 4-point play on a shot like that. I thought Jake. Now, everything's not fine and dandy. Everything's not rosy. To your point, Zubats Valanciunas matchup. That was a heavyweight matchup. And I don't feel like Valanciunas had many good looks at it. Whether that's the offense, whether that's not getting them in position or whatever. JV should never be 3 of 10 from the field.
Right.
Never should be 3 of 10 from the field. Give Zubac some credit. But we got to do a better job getting the big fella some easy looks. And I think that's also where maybe you miss a Malik Monk or you miss a point guard because there was nobody spoon-feeding JV for open looks.
Mm-hmm.
His first shot attempt was a little 15-footer, 17-footer. Maybe had a good look at that. But usually around the basket, man, he dominated.
Yeah. He, by the way, had 7 assists last
night. Yes. He 7 assists, 17 rebounds. So I'm going to wrap up Drake's take by saying this. Am I upset we lost? Yeah, I'm disappointed. Do I feel hurt that Kawhi freaking Leonard beat us? Yeah. But am I angry today? Am I like, the season's over? No. We still got 19 games left to go, Whitey. This team is playing the best stretch of basketball they've played all year. 8-4 in their last 12. I'm not going to get too upset. Now, mind you, you got to win this one tonight. Like, the best way to get over a loss is to get back out there and get a win tonight against the hobbled New York Knicks team. And so I'm not too upset about last night. That was just a hell of a shot by Kawhi Leonard over 3 Kings defenders with his offhand. That's a great player being great.
Bounce.
Yeah, tip the cap to him, come back, fight another day, and get this win tonight. Kyle, that's Drape's Takes. It's brought to you by
Alsco Uniforms. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms.
And thank you, Kyle, for the update there on Malik Monk, who's not on the injured list for tonight. I'm not angry, Drace, but, that was just a really tough one, the way this schedule is so difficult. So I hear you, but, man, that was a rough loss when the 8th spot was right there. So, it's an uphill climb from here. Yes, the team's playing better, but, that one hurt.
It definitely hurt. No doubt about it. It definitely hurt. But here's the thing, Wade. If the Kings finish in 9th and win 2 games and get in the playoffs, I'm not talking about what happened last night. I'm of the belief I'm going to let it play out because who knows? Maybe you go to Golden State, win that one, and win Friday against Phoenix. I don't know. All I know is what I see on the court that night. The team played well enough. The ball bounced Kawhi's way. Tip your cap, you move on. Now, if we get to the end of the season, and it's a must win. You got to win this one to get 8th, or you got to win this one to get in, and you lose. Then it's like, what are we doing? But right now, we're still in the fight.
Yes.
I'm not letting go of the rope right now if I'm a Kings fan.
Yes, just the fact of the matter is right now you're closer to 10th than you are to 7th. That's to me, it's a little discouraging, but as you say, doesn't matter. You got another game tonight, then you got a game not only Thursday, but then Friday, right, against the Suns, who are climbing back into things. I'm a little concerned about how weary they're going to be tonight. I think Jonas has shown that he had 17 rebounds, like you said, but he's playing a lot of minutes right now. They all played a lot of minutes. But again, last night to me, second quarter, third quarter, as you said, they looked like they were starting to wear down a little bit. And then all of a sudden they found that extra burst, that next level. So hopefully that continues tonight against a Knicks team that has lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, they're scuffling a little bit. Hey, this Knicks team just lost to the Clippers last week. Late last week. And so Friday. And so, they'll be hungry. They've lost 3 in a row. No Brunson tonight, but still, they're a talented team. They still got some boys, man. Should be fun tonight.
We'll take a look back at Friday night, what it all meant for the team and the franchise when we come back to the Golden One Center. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
T-Mobile home internet is all about speed, value.
What you doing, Zach?
First thing, there are so many benefits. You got to talk fast.
T-Mobile home internet ranks #1 in customer satisfaction for home wireless internet by J.D. Power.
Wow, you are good.
Try singing it. T-Mobile has price lock.
They won't raise your rate on internet.
Hulu and Paramount Plus on them.
Get T-Mobile home internet all in for just $55 a month with auto pay and any postpaid voice line. Additional terms apply for J.D. Power 2024 award information. Visit jdpower.com/awards.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
We rely heavily on our HVAC systems during the cold valley winters and hot valley summers. That's why there are so many HVAC companies out there. So when you need a new system or a tune-up, where do you turn? I turned to Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Once our heater checked out, we checked in at leesair.com. The entire experience exceeded our high expectations. You want prompt service from people who know what they're doing, can save you money, and will treat you right. For your HVAC needs, Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating on the web at leesair.com. Ask about their $99 HVAC tune-up service, license number 635355.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPfest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Save Mart and McKee Brothers Plumbing and Rooter Incorporated. Find out more at CITPfest.com.
Hey, everybody. Kyle Draper here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Sometimes you just don't want to buy brand new. I get it. I understand. Sometimes you just want to try something out. Maybe go for a lease. Well, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the place for you. They have great lease offers starting at $297 a month. That's right, $297 a month. For over 30 years, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has been there for the community. Whether you're buying, whether you're leasing, they're the ones you can trust. So head on down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton right now and check out their fleet of lease vehicles. They have certified pre-owned vehicles as well, starting at just 3.49% on select models from 2021, 22, and 23. So head on down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Tell them your boy Drape sent you, and trust me, they'll take care of you. They're a partner you can trust. Or you can always go online at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com.
Shop top brand tires at Big O with the lowest tire price guarantee. Now through March 16th at Big O Tires, get up to $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Nexen, Nitto, or Toyo tires. Installation required. Disposal fees extra. Not good with other offers. See Big O dealer for details.
Get ready for your chance to win $1 million by entering Sacktown Sports Bracket Challenge on Sunday, March 16th. Brought to you by Xfinity. Stream live sports from the best seat in the house.
Spring is in the air, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping for new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Before we get to Friday Night Drapes, I may have to ask you to vouch for my character, you being an employee of the team and everything, depending on how things go today.
Okay.
Yeah, because, Friday after the show was over, I went down to get the voucher for parking. And Drapes gets to park under the arena here.
VIP.
Yeah. But some of us, we're fortunate enough we get to park down in a garage nearby. And then the team's like, when you check in at the media desk, you get a voucher. Yeah. So show ends, just like I always do when the show ended. I go down to the media desk to get my voucher. Yeah. So I go in there, hey. And normally, they give it to you. And they just stare at me. I said, can I get a voucher? And I don't even know her name. She's just doing her job. I don't have any problem with anybody. And she goes, I thought I just gave you one. So then, somebody, I could take that and then give it like to Emron or somebody. He wasn't even here, but I said, no. And then, so she gives it to me, but then she was looking at me, give me that look like, I know I just gave it to you. I've never done that, Drake. I've never done that. I would never do that. And if it's a problem tonight, I may have to bring you in to vouch for my character.
How much is parking? 25? 20?
I don't even know. I don't know.
I'm not going to comment too much on this because I don't want to get in trouble, but just get a man a damn voucher. Like ain't nobody trying to double. What am I going to do with the voucher?
Well, now I'm trying to think, who was it that came by that she thought was me?
Who looks like you?
I don't know. That was the thing that bothered me. It's like, wait a minute.
Watch it have been like Alan Stiles or somebody like that. Like then I confuse y'all two or something.
Yeah. So I get it. So
now, were you nice about it, or were you kind of perturbed? You didn't pull a "Don't you know who I am" or anything like that?
No. Because half the time I don't know who I am. So that wasn't it. But also, it's one of those things where I don't want to act suspicious. I don't want to do anything that's going to make her think, oh yes, he did double dip, which I did not. So just like, And
it was the same woman that's usually there, or was this somebody new?
There's a variety of people there.
Variety,
and,
okay.
Some of mine, I've know better than others.
Yeah.
But again, it was just like I hate that look. It's like, okay, here, and then she's looking at me like, I know what you're doing. It's like, Drake, I'm innocent. I'm innocent.
But they might count the vouchers at the end of the night and match them up with the media credentials. So she's probably just worried about her job.
I understand that. Right. I understand that completely. You think it's, Frankie? Who would they think?
Who would it? I don't even know. Chris Watt? No.
Yeah. I don't know.
Leo B's? Leo? No. I have no idea, man.
I don't know. So if it does happen tonight, I know you're busy getting ready for the game and everything, but I may have to text you.
Hey, hold up here.
Yeah.
Why the hell is Kyle on our YouTube stream right now?
He doesn't even know.
Hey, man, slow down over here, man. We got technical things going on. You host the show, big dog.
All right. Hey, you see him jump real quick. He's like, what? Man.
Got the top flight engineer on deck right now. Hold on.
You know why, Jay? Because I thought he was settling in. You know how you first sit down and everything, you get all organized, you get the headphone. Like, I thought he was just settling
Engineer
in.
setting us up a new camera in here.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, that does look like a new camera. That's
See, Kyle Ledbetter remembers what everybody did to Styles when he was on and didn't know he was on.
Yeah,
remember that?
Remember?
Yeah.
He was on for like a half hour or two. It's like, dude, get out of here.
He got dry roasted.
The thing is,
like, the thing is
Drapes is off like every other day, so we gotta make sure somebody's covering his behind.
I'm like Jordan with the Wizards, big fella. I'm load managing now, man.
Where my briefcase at, then, MJ?
I deliver, big fella. I drop 45 when I play. You know that double nickel right here.
Drapes, what did you think of Friday night? I love the way
great.
Anthony Slater put it the next day on The Athletic. He said, it wasn't too thorny. And I thought that's a good way to put it. I don't know what you thought. I wasn't sure what to expect. There was some boos, there was cheering. Overall, I thought it was like, okay, that was a nice night for everybody.
I thought it went and I said this on post game because I did pre and post. I thought it went exactly how it should have went.
Yeah,
in my opinion. Even the boos, and I know some people were upset about that. Some people are like, "It's classless. What are we doing?" and everything like that. But I thought the way they gave De'Aaron the applause when the video was shown.
Yes.
The way they gave him the business the entire game when he touched it. I'm sorry, he's an opponent now.
Right.
Like, it is what it is, And, but there was a reverence too for, like you saw him after the game, hugging his guys, hugging his friends. He stayed around after the game, actually, too, Whitey. I got to chop it up with him after the game for a little bit. And, he says he's happy. And I'm glad that chapter is over. That's one thing I said to him. I'm saying, I know you're glad this is over. Like, this game is over in the rear view mirror. He'll probably have surgery on that hand coming up in the next week or so. And so we've moved on. Sounds like he's moved on. But I thought it was a perfect night. And, Whitey, the fact that we played as well as we did.
Right.
Like, Zach LaVine was the best player on the floor. The guy we got in the De'Aaron Fox trade. And so I thought it went perfectly for the Kings the other night.
Yeah, when he was introduced, as you know, at least from where I was, which was right there behind you, it sounded like it was more cheers than boos. As you said, there was booing every time he touched the ball. But when they played the tribute video, it started out as boos, but it ended in cheers. And everyone was like, you know what? Forget everything else right now. Thank you for everything. And then, all right, the game resumed. And, okay, you're on the other team again.
Yeah.
And that's like that, as you say, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
And then, thank goodness, the Kings put it all behind them, and they kicked ass.
Ooh, yeah. And they really did.
Yeah.
And, they made life difficult for De'Aaron defensively. You saw Keon, getting a block. How about Keegan Murray talking some trash during that game, getting Stephon Castle in foul trouble and fouling him out.
Yeah.
And
Fox, you better come get your rook.
Get your rook. Let me ask you this, though, because I've seen different accounts of the level of booing during the introduction. Some say it was 70% cheers, 30%. Some say 50-50, 60-40. I feel like it depends on where you were sitting or standing.
Maybe so.
Because from where my perch over there at the NBC booth, I thought, all right, probably 50-50. But I see some people saying majority it was cheers. Like, how did you feel from your vantage point?
I thought it was more cheers than boos. I have it. I can send it to Jay and we can play it if you wanted. But
your video that you took?
Yeah. But
okay.
like you say, it doesn't matter because people had different views. In fact, someone on Twitter said that to me on Twitter. They said, yeah, from where you were, it sounds blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't the torrential boos that I was expecting the day after the Charlotte game.
Right. No, you're right about that. I thought Kings fans, for the most part, did a good job, not only, showing how they felt about De'Aaron, good and bad, but also cheering on their team. Like, when the Spurs ran out onto the court, you heard the boos, and they were extra. Yeah. They were extra. But when the Kings took the court, it was extra in the positive. Like, the fans were juiced up. And Whitey, you tell me, because you're here every game pretty much. When have you seen Vivek out here on the floor that early before a game? Vlade Divac,
right?
That early before a game. Like, it was clearly a big game, and the stars were out, and everybody wanted to get a piece of it early on.
Yeah. I don't recall the last time we saw that. Brandon Dietzman in the chateau says, in my opinion, upstairs was booing like crazy.
But then he's in section 101. What are you talking? He courtside. What are you talking about, Brandon Dietzman? What you know about upstairs?
He said his section seemed like mostly cheers.
He's in 101. Hold on. Where's so he's behind the basket over there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was, like I said, from my vantage point, 50-50. Was it classless for people to cheer, or
you mean the boo?
Yeah, I mean the boo, De'Aaron Fox.
No, not the way it came across. Again, like we said, everybody has that right. And to me, the exclamation point on the whole thing, or the bow on it, I should say, was that the tribute video was definitely well received, very well received. And then he was, waving. And sure, there was a smattering of boos, but overall, I thought, okay, as a fan base, for the most part, Kings fans let him know how they felt.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought it was interesting too during the introductions. I heard the boos out there. But Harrison Barnes got cheers. Like, like I was like, damn, okay, the narrative with HB has definitely changed here. Like, I didn't hear one single boo for HB.
He's more beloved now than he was when he was here.
Right.
Oh, HB, we loved it when he was here. It's like, get rid of that.
Right, exactly. And so, no, I thought it was a great win, man. And, I love the fact that on a night when it was supposed to be all about De'Aaron Fox, Zach LaVine said,
right,
look at me.
Yeah, and De'Aaron Fox did not play well at all. He did not shoot the ball well.
Not at all. Not at all. And, I could tell it was emotional for him. He might not say that after the game. He might try and downplay it, play it off. But you could just tell out there, even seeing him after the game, you could tell, man, it had to be tough. Like, and I would imagine it had to be tough to hear some people booing him, too.
Sure.
You know what I mean? All he gave to the organization. And so, good thing is, we don't see these guys anymore. It's time to move on. Spurs will be fine. They'll, continue to struggle a little bit down the stretch. Fox will get the surgery. They'll have some good draft picks. They'll, be a player in free agency, and they're going to be a team to reckon with next season.
I think Stephon Castle has a chance to be pretty good, Draves.
Dude, don't bring that up. Don't.
Stephon Castle's phenomenal.
Whitey, don't you understand, though? Every time he plays well, and the better he plays, the thought is, damn, how come we couldn't get him in that trade, right?
No chance.
You're right.
No
You're right. That dude's nice. He was the best player for them the other night, Friday. And, I got to see how him and Fox, play along together with Wemby and whoever they pick up this offseason. But that dude is nice, man. He got a compete level to him. Got a little swag to him.
Definitely.
Out there on the court.
We'll come back with an update on Malik and Domas next. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
The Amish have a reputation for craftsmanship, determination, and quality. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Those virtues sound quite similar to the Keys family and the day-to-day values on display at Naturewood. The Amish furniture craftsmanship begins with the finest hardwood, shaping and molding the raw materials into one-of-a-kind art. In addition to the classic styles long sought and revered by discriminating furniture lovers, Naturewood Home Furnishings offers a vast selection that includes transitional, modern, farmhouse, arts and crafts, and other stunning styles, all available in the ultimate Amish standard of excellence built over centuries. All Naturewood Amish furniture is on sale right now for a limited time. Let the Naturewood team guide you through their selection of Amish furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Spring is in the air, and that means gigantic savings for all your oil change needs at Jiffy Lube today. Get a $25 gift card with the purchase of any Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change through May 31st at your local Jiffy Lube service center in the greater Sacramento areas. And don't forget about the additional $30 off online coupon at jiffylube.com. Terms apply. Valid email address required. See pennzoil.com/rewards for details. Jiffy Lube, huge spring savings for you today.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers. T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. It's cold, and American Energy wants you to stay warm and make sure your system's operating safely. Here's the deal. A $49 tune-up inspection, which is regularly $119. That's a full safety and duct inspection. But guess what? If your system's over 10 years old, the tune-up is on them. That's right. It's free. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. And if you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Oh, by the way, breaking news, they're hiring right now. Here's the deal. They'll train you, full benefits, generous incentive-based pay. Just call today for more details.
at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Not only great deals from American Energy, but possibly a new career for you. Check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Oh, I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's Business Solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Listen for the Toyota Tahoe Report every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with Johnny Mosley to get the latest weather conditions in Tahoe throughout this snow season. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers. T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Last night's 2-minute report, the last 2-minute report, which includes overtime, is in. Do we even need to look at it, Drapes? What are we expecting? Are we just punishing ourselves by even looking at this? What are we expecting to find?
Yeah, and I think it'll probably piss us off even more. So I don't even know if we should even engage in that. Look at that. Reveal that.
Replay review of the foul called on Jones Jr. Pursuant to a coach's challenge was deemed successful. Jones Jr. makes incidental contact with DeRozan's hand after he has released his shot and some marginal arm contact thereafter. So
that's terrible.
Yeah.
That to me, that makes him look even worse. Like, you know, so they admitted there was contact on the shot and contact after the shot.
They said contact after he released the shot. I'm not saying they're right.
Oh, after he released the shot.
Yeah, yeah.
But here's the thing. Reading this here.
Yeah.
Incidental contact with the hand. Mm-hmm. I don't think we were even thinking about the hand. And then marginal arm contact. Like, how can, and I understand the rule is what it is. We've seen guys get called for fouls for no contact at all, but they're in their space. But yet when there is some contact, oh, well, it's just I don't like it, Whitey. I just don't like it, man. And it's not about a Kings thing or anything like that. Most of the time, I feel like that call, because Steph Curry gets away with that a lot. Steph Curry, when his arm's out and the defender comes across the arm, that's called most of the time. I've seen it. And he sells it by hitting the deck. DeMar hit the deck too.
Right.
And Tyler Ford said, and there was not enough contact to cause DeMar to hit the ground. But he got hit. And so you're trying to, point it out to the referee. I'm just upset, man. That was a bad call.
Well, that's you're addressing the thing that really bothers Kings fans the most, which is the thought that that's not a foul on DeMar, but on Steph Curry it is.
Yes.
You know, the thought that
Steph Curry gets that call.
Somebody in the chat last week was asking, might have been a day when you were there, maybe you heard this. Hey, I'd like to know if Zach and DeMar, if they feel like they're not getting the calls they used to get. And then, it's a great question, but obviously they can't say that.
Right. DeMar's already a little lighter in the wallet after the other day, $25,000 fine. But, the thing about it too, man, is, and I understand stars get whistles because we saw it last week with Jokic. I thought Jokic got away with a lot last week. But when a team is battling and fighting, and then to overturn the call, I'm not surprised that the 2-minute report came out like this because they reviewed it.
Right.
And so said it one way. The next day they can't be like, oh, actually, when we look at it,
the review.
Right. And so I'm not surprised, but it still doesn't make me feel good.
I'll say this. To me, this is an argument against the notion that the referees took the game from the Kings. This won't be popular, but with 13 seconds to go, I think this was in Harden when Harden tied the game in regulation, and I thought Valanciunas hammered him. And they didn't call it. It's like, okay. And it says Valanciunas jumps to contest Harden's driving shot attempt. The ensuing contact after his release is marginal.
Come on.
All right. So it looks like that's how they're calling it now. So you can shoot the ball and other team can shoot you. But if the ball is away, if you've released the ball,
Let me ask you.
Balls up your hand. Look out. You can club a guy in the back of the head.
Right, because here's the thing. They were both ruled marginal.
Yes.
You know as well as I do, there was a varying degree between those.
Mm-hmm.
So now to me, what is marginal? Like what Valanciunas did, and I didn't say this on the air last night on the call, but I'm shocked he didn't get called for a foul.
Okay, I was wondering. Yeah.
Right, I'm not going to point that out, during the game, but I'm like, that should have probably been an and one. But that contact and the contact that we saw against DeMar are in two entirely different realms, but they're both called marginal. So what is the what's the words I'm looking for?
The definition?
Yeah, it's a broad definition, that's for sure.
My guess is the way they're interpreting these things is once the ball is away,
you could do whatever the hell you want.
It didn't impact the shot. Therefore, it's marginal because it didn't impact the shot, and therefore it didn't impact the play. It seems like they're more and more leaning that way, and they're trying to allow for more contact.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but the NBA needs to have more player input because I feel like you got a bunch of guys that aren't in the action that never played making up these rules.
Yeah, that's pretty typical.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and I don't know how much input players have on this, but if you ask any player, you shoot and your follow through gets impeded, if you will.
Oh, I agree with you completely.
Like that could throw things off.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, and same thing with James Harden's play. Like that was not marginal that's a foul. That's a foul. Like, I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think we were screwed. I don't think, oh man, we always get screwed. Because like I said, that Harden shot probably should have been an and one. But it's like, damn, at that moment.
I thought where the Kings were going to get robbed was on the play where the shot clock reset.
Yes, I was worried about that.
I thought, I could see this one coming.
How are you going to review that? And I get it, but you can't take points off the board off of that. Like, and so to your point, I was thinking, man, that probably once they do the math with the stopwatch and everything,
asking us no good,
right? We would have rioted out there.
Yeah,
there is a huge Kings contingent. Yeah, that was shocking. That's a hell of a shot too, though. Like a hell of a play to get that shot off and making some hustle out there, but. Wait, it hurts, man.
Here's some good news. Yeah, and I know we shared this earlier. According to Jason Anderson from the B, Malik Monk is not listed on the injury report for tonight's game against.
Hold up, stop. Wait, stop for a second. Stop for a second. Stop for a second. Jason Anderson is my guy.
Yeah,
he's your guy. He's our guy.
Right.
Frankie Cardicelli tweeted the same thing. Also, all we got to do is look at the injury report. We see it for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this. Why do we give credit? And I'm not mad. I'm just saying, like, That's something we could just. I'm looking at it right now. Do I need to tweet it out for it to be?
It sounds more like breaking news, you know.
Right. It's Frankie tweeted it out a minute before Jason Anderson.
Okay,
that's one of my pet peeves about media. It's like if you don't put it out on Twitter, then it's not like you didn't report it. Like I
agree.
say something on here, but because I didn't put it on Twitter, like no, dude, I'm looking at the same thing. It's not a report. I see it too, Jason Anderson. Not to take anything away from him, but I used to have this argument with NBC producers all the freaking time. On post game or pre-game, they'd put up a tweet from somebody. I'm like, dog, you ain't got to put up there. Doug said the same damn thing in the pre-game press conference. You ain't got to. This ain't no breaking news. I don't know, Jay. Maybe I'm old school, big fella.
I agree with you.
I don't know, man.
You know the other one that gets me,
sorry.
and I apologize, Whitey. We done went off into a whole tunnel. The other one,
I know. It just bothers me, man. That grinds my gears.
Yeah, the other one that gets me
was good news.
The one that gets me is when, and you see it, and I know everybody gets their news from different people. People have favorites over, they pay attention to others over other people. But where it's like we all get the same media release, and then you see 30 people post the same thing.
Yeah,
right. It's like, dog, we the Kings just retweet them.
Yeah,
don't just copy and paste their tweet.
Tweet it like they got some secret
like
source.
they got some.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. The sports media business just sometimes it gets under my skin. But shout out to Jason Anderson for looking up the injury report and reporting what's out there for everyone.
It's good news.
In the world to see.
Get over it. Malik's going to play today.
Yeah, it's great news, man. It's good to have Malik back. And I wouldn't imagine a minutes restriction or anything like that, And so here's the question, though. How does he fit back in? His team been kind of playing some great basketball as of late.
Yes.
Do we need his scoring?
Good problem to have because they're starting, especially tonight. You need bodies.
Yes.
After last night.
Yes.
King struggles to finish making life in the West tough. And Doug Christie said some interesting things last night about the current coaching situation. What was he getting at? We're back with that and more from the Golden One Center. It's The Drive, guys. Kings and the Knicks tonight on Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. New Hondas are piling up, and that means big savings for you.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Yeah, here's the rest of Jason Anderson's post. At the risk of,
hold on.
Can of worms.
Can I see it real quick? Can I see it?
Yeah.
Whitey, I got it right here, big fella.
Okay, then what do you got?
Go ahead. According to, let me tweet it out, man. You might read mine. I don't know. It's right here on black and white. Jay Crowder and Jake LaRavia are questionable.
Okay.
Crowder questionable with low back soreness. LaRavia questionable with right knee soreness. Damn, Jake played that 30+ minutes and needs a day off, man.
Yeah. Malik and Domas, I know you said last night, if I'm not mistaken, at the top of the broadcast, you said they're not playing, but both are progressing.
Yeah.
And both have been cleared for on-court activity. So it looks like Malik is, I guess it can always be a setback or something, but looks like Malik is good to go tonight.
Yeah, good to go. Not listed on the injury report. And that means Keon goes back to the bench as well. I thought Keon's done a hell of a job in the starting lineup, especially defensively out there, setting the tone defensively. But now Malik is back, and I want to see Malik, make life a little easier for Valanciunas. We've seen him run that 2-man game with Domantas Sabonis. Why not? Let's see it with Valanciunas tonight against the Knicks.
Did you hear what Doug said post-game? I don't know what you do post-game. I know you called the game.
No, I went into the – I'm always –
okay.
99% of the time on the road, I'm in the post-game scrum.
What Doug said about Keon on the game winner from Kawhi. He says Kawhi Leonard comes in the lane, and Keon was guarding Harden on the weak side. And he started to double, or I guess it would have been triple. Yeah. All right. Here's what Doug Christie said about Keon and the defensive decision he decided to make on that fateful final play.
I was trying to tell Keon to go, but it is loud. He doesn't hear. I don't know that was their play, because it looked like they wanted him to go and extend the game, but he chose to do what he did. I think Keon peeked over his shoulder and he saw James, so he didn't go. But I told him, whenever you got a 3-side like that, we trust you. Pull the trigger. Jake was on the backside. We would have stunned it and figured it out. Like, if you're going to lose with a left-handed hook going across the lane that bounces 3 times on the rim, I mean, hats off to Kawhi.
Yeah, it's very interesting to hear the coach breaking that down, and then watching it again today after I'd heard that. You could see Keon start to go. Then he realizes, if I go,
that's
James
Jake
Harden all by himself.
Right. Yeah. And that's one of those things, Whitey, where, to Doug's point, you kind of got to trust your help. You know what I mean? Trust that, whoever it was, LaRavia, whoever it was that was on the other side with him, will go, cover James Harden for you.
Yeah.
And so, to me, that's, a young player, a team that hasn't been together, that hasn't really fully developed that trust yet. And so he was sort of caught in no man's land, like, should I go? Should I, But
he also probably saw that play is pretty well defended. I mean, it took him.
It was a hell of, I didn't think it was it could have made it more difficult, obviously, if Keon goes, but he shot that shot over 3 guys. Like, that was, give Kawhi credit, man. Going left at that, it was offhand. That was a good shot, man.
Now, I want to see what you guys thought of this. This was post-game, of course. Jason Anderson. I'll mention his name. Hopefully, start some.
I didn't tweet it out, so go ahead. Whatever. Go ahead.
He asked, now that Luke Laux is gone, is there going to be somebody stepping up on, coaching-wise? Who's taking his chair? And Doug had an interesting reaction to the question. Here it is.
With Luke being gone now, are there any changes? Is anybody moving over to kind of oversee the defense in Luke's place?
I'm the head coach.
Okay. So no other changes.
I'm the head coach. Listen, when it all comes down to it, it's going to fall on my head. That's the bottom line. Since I took over, I've been doing a lot. So nothing really is changing. LB will be moving to the front of the bench when he comes back. Jim will be in the first seat once LB comes back. Other than that, it's going to be a group effort. Those guys get in there. I got my guys who I game plan with and come up with the game plan. And from there, when we get in there, it all falls on me. Bullets, knives, the whole 9.
That's really interesting. Now, the whole thing with Luke Laux, I get it, and it doesn't matter. Luke Laux was a Mike Brown guy. Mike Brown's not here. Luke Laux was with De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox isn't here, so okay. But then it just, there's a number of ways Doug could have answered that. And I just thought it was interesting the way he chose to answer. Like, I'm the head coach.
Right. The buck ultimately stops, and he's a defensive minded guy, and so and a fair question from Jason.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to know, all right, Luke leaves, who's, promoted, who's
oversaw the defense part of it? Was that what?
Yeah, because I think, in all honesty, Doug's probably been taking a more hands-on role with the defense since taking over. And so, maybe in his eyes, not much is really going to change because he's probably been doing it, the last 6 weeks or however long, 2 months that he's been the coach. And so I think it was in the heat of the moment after a tough loss. Doug was a little, obviously bothered by the loss.
Right.
You ask him on a shoot around one day or practice, you probably get a little bit different response. But, I don't think, anything will really change from what we've seen the last couple of months. Doug has taken a more hands-on approach with this defense lately.
And it is a little bit unusual for a coach to leave a team right in the middle of the season, but I understand it. I get it. There's no reason for that not to happen, and onward and upward. It's just interesting where Doug is with that right now. And he's, the last two, Friday, of course, was a happy win.
Yes.
But those are two really, the last 3 games, he's had really 2 very tough post-game conferences just because it's so tough to talk about all that when, you just want to go somewhere and scream.
Right. I mean, because you're right there. You're seconds away from winning. You're minutes away from winning. Your team's playing hard. You put yourself in a position to win the game, and 2 times you've lost that game. And, I'll be honest, man. I'm going to just call it like I see it. You lose 2 coaches and a star player. Like, that's massive throughout a season. Like, if there's a 30 for 30 that comes out on this Kings season, I can't wait to see it. There's a tell-all book. I can't wait to read it because this team has been through the ringer. This fan base this year has been through the ringer, and yet here we are, still within the fight, still a chance to do it. And, I'll look at it like this. Mike Brown did a lot when he was here as coach. The buck stopped with him also. He is involved in everything. So Mike leaves, Doug takes over. Now Doug's involved in everything. Luke Laux leaves now, and you're not replacing. You lost 2 bodies off your coaching staff, and so you're trying to figure it out, and you got a whole new roster pretty much. A third of your roster is new, and so considering all that, Whitey, do I want this team's record to be better? But hell, they won 8-4 over their last 12. That's pretty damn good. Going into last night, they were tied with the 6th best record in the league since Doug took over. That's this team has actually been playing pretty damn good. The reason why we're in 9th place isn't because of what happened last night or, it's we crapped away the first 2 months of the season. You know what I mean? The first 2.5 months of the season, we so underachieved. Like, if we win some of those close games, 3 or 4 or 5 of them, now we're feeling entirely different, man. And so this is one of the things we talked about earlier in the season too, Whitey. It's you're losing all these games and you're digging yourself a hole. Now you don't have much margin for error going forward. And that's what we're finding out right now.
Yeah. One of those losses, I forget which one, but Malik said this is one of the ones that, come April, we're going to remember this one. It's like there have unfortunately been a couple of those. As for tonight and talking about defense, do you think the Kings approach defending Cat in a way that's similar at all to the way they did Jokic? I know they're not the same player, but you got a big who plays away from the basket.
That's a good question.
Because Valanciunas, you don't want Valanciunas trying to follow Cat all over.
Right. That's a great question, Whitey. I hadn't thought about that. You thinking what, Keegan?
What was it, Keegan and LaRavia?
Against Jokic. Then who? Then JV, I guess.
He's kind of the almost like
OG Anunoby, maybe
safe
starting.
That's tough.
That's tough, right? That's tough. This is a matchup problem with Cat. Arguably the best shooting big man in the league, and I wasn't. Usually they got a shoot around or film session or something like that. Well, it's second night of a back-to-back, so I wasn't privy to the matchups. That's a great question. I have no idea which direction they're going to go.
And I wanted to ask you about Keon last night. I'm a big Keon guy.
Yes.
I thought I noticed last night down the stretch a time or two perhaps where he could have pulled the trigger and didn't. And he usually is not shy about that at all. And maybe the defender was closer than I realized. He didn't shoot the ball especially well last night. Overall, he contributed. He had a good game. But I noticed that maybe he was a little reluctant to pull the trigger on a couple of jumpers, and I haven't seen that from him before.
Yeah, you're right about that. There was a couple of plays where he could have pulled it, like you said. Instead, he put it on the deck and, either drove, shot a little midi, or gave it up. That was probably the first time because, I've always been saying he doesn't take bad shots. He takes what the defense gives him. Last night, I agree with you. I thought a little gun shy on a couple of those.
Just a little, and it
just
really stands out because it's so unlike him.
Yeah.
Whereas Keegan now is like, he's so aggressive.
I'm loving it, man.
Yeah.
The first time he touched the ball, he launched that 27-footer. I was like, damn, okay. And I'm loving it, Whitey.
He had words for the Clipper bench?
Yes, staring him down and everything. And, we need that aggressive Keegan. And here's the thing, too. He's doing it all while guarding Kawhi Leonard last night, Whitey. Think about this. This guy scored 15 points on 6 of 12 shooting. Would love for him to get to the line. We aren't seeing that at all, but would love for him to get a couple of freebies from the line. 15 could have been 19 or 20. You get to the free throw line last night. But he's turning into a damn good two-way player, sort of in the mold of different kind of game, but in terms of like a KCP with Denver, something like that. Aaron Gordon with Denver. Like he's turning into that before our eyes, I feel like.
Well, I felt bad for you last night. I thought your partner kind of let you down. How much does it take out of him when he's defending his best player?
Right.
Well, Kyle, I don't think it bothers him at all.
Yeah, I was trying to give her a little layup there. I was trying to, set it up so my boy Keegan, it does take a lot out, and so, but he's doing a phenomenal job tonight. Yeah. He's got 15. I was trying to lead the horse to water, but she didn't want to drink last night. I know.
No, I'm not having.
Swatted that out of here. Nope. I'm like, dang. Okay, Katie, I feel you.
Kings struggled to finish. What's going on there? What can be done about that? We're back with that next on Sacktown Sports.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. New Hondas are piling up, and that means big savings for you.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery. One of the most common questions I receive is what makes us different from other law firms. At Gingery, Hammer & Associates, we handle your case from beginning to end. Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether we need to file suit, or even take it all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to you and your case, we are as invested as you are and making sure you get the outcome you deserve. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
If you love golf but don't want to play the same 18 holes over and over, at Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, you get 27 holes of variety, so every round feels fresh. And with a Premier Club membership, you'll enjoy unlimited golf with a cart, unlimited range use, exclusive discounts, and 2 complimentary guest passes to share the experience. With pristine conditions, a scenic layout, and an award-winning reputation, Timber Creek and Sierra Pines is Sacramento's #1 rated golf destination. Stop waiting. Become a Premier Club member today at TimberCreekGC.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Ruthie Bolton's going to join us bottom of the hour. How about that? Sacramento legend, basketball legend, an original Monarch.
Yes.
Going to join us.
Yes. Can't wait. Can't wait for that.
Yeah. That's her jersey right there.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I was looking for it over there. Yeah. You can see it. Yeah. That number 6 over there, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 2-minute report came out today. What do you expect? I mean, they're not going to review a review and say the review was wrong. So, yeah, marginal and incidental contact. The whole key, not saying it's right, but for those fans who post pictures and wonder how can they not call a foul when there's contact to DeMar DeRozan's wrist. From the NBA standpoint, again, not saying it's right, but their view is, he already let go of the ball, so it didn't have any impact on the shot. that's what they're standing on.
Yeah, it's unfortunate too, because that was a hell of a game, and I look at it like we just saw last week against Denver. Keon get called for almost kind of a similar foul, and they upheld that and everything like that, and it's like and I'm looking at the text line here, and I agree with the 209. I can't stand how all this marginal interpretational rules in the NBA leaves just enough gray area for the refs to use the rules to their advantage. I wish they would do something about all the illegal screens. Sabonis and JV get it called on them, but everyone else is allowed to move, shuffle, stick their hip out, 2 hands to the back. That's Dennis in Stockton there.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with the first part, though, man. It's sort of left to each ref's interpretation,
right?
And it's kind of it's too much gray area when it comes to
and the whole thing about the 2-minute report, everyone wonders, why do you have it? Well, it's supposed to be about transparency and clarity. Then you have rules that are obscure, that obfuscate things by definition. So what's the point of having a 2-minute report when it explains calls based on rules that are really vague? It's just nonsensical.
And the thing about it, and you can't tell me, NBA, that the league, that these officials got everything correct last night. Every no call or correct call, like they were perfect last night, according to this 2-minute report. And you and I both just talked. That probably should have been a foul on Valanciunas. Like, it just, it served. I know what the intent was, but it really does not serve any purpose. Nobody walks away happy with it. It's terrible.
Bottom line, Drapes, the Kings had a 7-point lead with 1:40 left, and they did not score again in regulation. It's understandable that they would struggle down the stretch of games, given A, the fact they haven't been together long, B, they've got 2 of their key players injured. But, as Keegan said after the game, he said, we didn't control the game in the final moments the way we had. What can be done about that? What's going on and what can be done about that?
All right, so I'm looking at the final $1.48 or so when the Kings, during regulation, when the Kings didn't score. Valanciunas, offensive rebound, turnover. DeRozan, the missed 3 that should have been a foul. Should have been free throws right there. DeRozan,
that was the
bad 3. Yeah. Exactly.
Those back-to-back were 2 really tough possessions.
Yes, exactly. And here's the thing. I'm looking at it here, Whitey. All right, so DeRozan got the rebound at 43 seconds. 19 seconds went by. So there was about 5 on the shot clock when he took that 3 that we were talking about, the bad one. So still had some more time to do some things, maybe try to get to the basket or something like that. DeRozan misses, and then Levine misses. So really, we only had 1, 2, 3, 4 possessions. 1 turnover, 1 3-ball that we got robbed on, the foul, and 2 missed shots. And the Levine shot was one of those. So really, the only thing I'm have a problem with is the turnover and the bad 3-point attempt by DeRozan.
Yeah, that bad 3-point attempt. The Warriors call those shot turnovers because it was a bad shot.
Yeah.
And those are blood relatives, the turnover and the poor shot. And it's just, he's the guy you rely on to make good decisions there. And that wasn't necessarily a very good decision. But they had the game right there. They had it.
Yeah.
They had it on the hip. They just couldn't quite jam it into the pocket.
Yeah.
And as we said, Levine, you run the spread for 1-4 flat, whatever it was, and he got a decent look. And that's all you can ask for. It just didn't go in.
Yeah, 18-footer fadeaway. And I'm looking at the play-by-play from it here. Giving the Clippers some credit, though, man. Zubats had a cutting dunk off a Harden pass, defensive breakdown. That was off the turnover, JV's turnover. But Amir Coffey missed the 3. We got the rebound. I'm just looking at it. And then that James Harden, that floating shot was a tough shot, man.
Yeah.
The problem with that I had with that floating shot, though, it was going to his strong hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He
Like,
made a good play on that, if I remember
Yeah.
right, because Jake was trying to sit on his left.
and somehow,
Harden did just enough of a shoulder fake to get half a step.
right.
And then it was like,
And then got
yeah.
back. Yeah, it was like, oh, man. Like, because you saw Jake sitting on it. I was saying it during the game. Arabia sitting on that left, but James Harden's a hell of a player, man. And, that was a hell of a shot over Valanciunas. Probably could have been an and one that won the game in regulation.
Mm-hmm. Right now, it looks like there's a lot of things that can happen. Right now, it suggests everything looks like the Kings are most likely on a collision course with Phoenix in the 9-10 game. Now, I'm not, they may not be. They could win a lot of games, and that could change. There's a lot of things going on this weekend with LeBron getting hurt, and Gobert's back with Minnesota. Minnesota's playing well. But right now, and Phoenix is not even 10th, they're 11th. But Dallas, you see the way Dallas finished the game yesterday with like 6 guys?
No, I didn't get a chance to see it yesterday.
They suit up 9, and then a couple of them got hurt, and then they had 2 guys on minutes restriction, so they couldn't even make substitutions at the end of the game.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So they lose that game. So they appear to be dropping like a rock. Right now, they're a game and a half ahead of Phoenix, but it looks like Phoenix will slide into the 10th. And it's just from here, it's not impossible, but it's going to be tough for the Kings to catch the Clippers or Minnesota.
Yeah, because they got the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Those teams got the tiebreaker on Sacramento. Let me throw this out there. And I'm not saying I believe in this or anything, but I got, some notes here regarding each team's remaining schedule, Whitey. And the Sacramento Kings, we know they got a tough schedule. 12 games against teams 500 or better. For the Sacramento Kings, 8 of them at home, 4 of them on the road. 7 games against teams under 500, 3 of them at home, 4 on the road.
And they still have 3 or 4 back-to-backs?
Yeah, some back-to-back
tonight.
Yep. Yeah, they got a tough one towards the end. Cleveland and Detroit. That's going to be a tough back-to-back. But I'm looking at Dallas, Whitey. They only got 8 games against teams over 500.
But they only have 7 players.
I know. I'm just listen. Hear me out. Here, I'm trying to make a point.
Yeah.
Phoenix has 15 games against winning teams.
Yeah, they have a tough schedule.
And only 3 games against losing teams.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, and I'm not saying, I think Dallas is going to secure it. Phoenix has a tough road to hoe. They need to start playing their best basketball of the season. And if I'm correct, we got them, 2 more times?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, we got them 2 more times.
Including
last game of the season.
Yeah, at Phoenix. And last game of the season here at home.
Yeah.
Hell, that might determine home court advantage for the first playing game, And so I wouldn't want to see Phoenix, though. And a one-gamer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not with Kevin Durant and Booker. Those guys can each go off for 40. That's going to be a tough match. That's tough.
Did you see what Durant tweeted to Skip Bayless? Skip Bayless tweeted something about, to me, Durant looks checked out mentally.
Yeah.
And Durant says, you know what? We're both washed. It was a hell of a ride.
That was awesome. That was pretty good. Right? Skip Bayless still out there doing stuff.
He's
man,
somewhere.
And
he washed, like KD said.
Yeah, he out there trying to hang on, And I thought that was good. So let me ask you this, though. So you got Knicks tonight, Golden State on Thursday, Phoenix on Friday. What's acceptable? 2-1 at worst? Would you be okay with that? Or you need to see 3-0 if we're being honest?
Acceptable? I mean, at this point, if you end up 9th, I think however you get there, and then fingers crossed you get out of it, it's fine. And this stretch, I mean, if you really want to make progress, you have to get a streak going, as hard as that is with your schedule. I mean, if you really want to make a run at 8 or even 7, or, you're not that far out of 6 mathematically, you just have to put a streak together. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting there probably 9th. So acceptable, play well, and we'll live with the results. But it'd be nice to see him, catch a few breaks, unlike what happened at the end of the game last night, and win a few in a row.
Yeah, and to your point, eventually you got to start winning a couple of those.
Yeah.
A couple of games that maybe you shouldn't win or something like that. For instance, I'm looking at this stretch right here coming up, New York, Golden State, Phoenix. I'm going to throw that. But then Memphis, Cleveland, Chicago, Milwaukee. To me, that signals a 3-1. Like, if you lose to Cleveland, okay, I get it. But if we're talking about getting to where you want to go, maybe an 8 seed or something like that.
I think so.
You can beat Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
You should beat Chicago. Memphis, they're kind of free falling a little bit. Like this next 7-game stretch is going to tell us all we need to know, because Whitey, those games, when you get to the Orlando, Indiana, Washington, you might be 3 back by then, 4 back, and you might not have the time to claw back in there.
One of the keys to all this that is unknowable right now is these losses like last night, and to a lesser degree, Denver. Does it sharpen you? Do they learn from those experiences as a team and become better? Or does the weight, especially when they're shorthanded, start to become too much? I mean, right now, I think the money would be on they don't get down. They don't get,
right.
They've been competitive in every game.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to be, and they have to play they're playing their best basketball. Like you said, they're going to have to play even better to make a run at 8 or 7 or maybe even 6.
I wonder, because that Denver game clearly pissed them off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then having Fox back, like they were dialed in. They were ready for that game. Does last night's loss do that for them tonight?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question I want to see when we watch them. And, I understand
they have that capability.
I think so, too. It's a back-to-back, but you're only coming from L.A., hour flight. You know what I mean? You're not – it's not like you're coming from Cleveland or –
Right. You made that flight, and you're fresh as a
I'm good to go. Although, that hour, man, losing that hour, it had an effect on me today. I was like, damn, why is it so like – I wanted to sleep till like 8 something, but your boy had to get up. I'm still dragging a little bit. So let me just say this. The last hour or so, I'm going to dial it back because I got to save some energy for the podcast.
Sure.
So
yeah,
I'm going to check out.
Yeah. Hopefully you can bring your A game for Ruthie Bolton.
Yes.
Yeah. She joins us next. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
I'm Sia, and I support Humane World for Animals, formerly called the Humane Society of the United States. Together, we have created a new version of Peter Gabriel's beautiful song, Salisbury Hill, to celebrate Humane World for Animals and everything they do. Enjoy the song and join us in helping Humane World for Animals end animal cruelty.
What if your business could see beyond what is and into what can be? What if you could create more impact in every decision? What if you had a partner as visionary as you are? With Bank of America, you get access to our trusted experts, real-time insights, and digital tools. So whether you run a local shop or a global enterprise, you're backed by business solutions to make every move matter. What would you like the power to do? Find out how at bankofamerica.com/banking for business. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
If you've been looking for an SUV that combines luxury, comfort, and off-road capability, look no further than the most awarded SUV ever, the Jeep Grand Cherokee at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. With 470 foot-pounds of torque, a 6,000-pound towing capacity, great gas mileage, the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is the perfect SUV for all your needs. See for yourself why people are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Centrally located across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course, it's the place where a handshake still means something.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. It's cold, and American Energy wants you to stay warm and make sure your system's operating safely. Here's the deal. A $49 tune-up inspection, which is regularly $119. That's a full safety and duct inspection. But guess what? If your system's over 10 years old, the tune-up is on them. That's right. It's free. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. And if you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Oh, by the way, breaking news, they're hiring right now. Here's the deal. They'll train you, full benefits, generous incentive-based pay. Just call today for more details at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Not only great deals from American Energy, but possibly a new career for you. Check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Save Mart and McKee Brothers Plumbing and Rooter Incorporated. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Huge savings now on new 2025 Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter.
With $10,250 off MSRP after rebates on select new 2025 LT models at Maida Chevy.
And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area.
$10,250 off new Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, leasing, some other offers. 5 of this offer must own 2011 or newer Chevrolet.
A great deal of Maida.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. New Hondas are piling up, and that means big savings for you.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Oh, was it? What you got? Drapes and I sit here, of course, at the Gold One Center, and as we look across the scoreboard, the video board, at the jerseys hanging on the other side of the ceiling, we got Jerry Reynolds up there, and of course, our next guest, number 6 on the Monarchs, an original Sacramento Monarch, 2-time gold medalist with Team USA, and she's written a new book called Sent with Purpose. The great Ruthie Bolton with us. How are you today, Ruthie?
I'm doing wonderful, How about yourself?
We're doing great.
We're good.
It's always great to catch up with you. And I know we want to talk about your new book, but looking at your jersey here hanging from the rafters, Ruthie, what do you remember the most about your time here in Sacramento with the Monarchs?
Man, you know what? I know this may sound cliche. It's really the fans. Like, it's something special about the community, the people. When I retired, it was sort of bittersweet, very bittersweet. And it was the hardest moment because I just go up. You know what? The cheers and applause that I got, I didn't even realize I would love so much. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's really that moment it was that moment that I realized that I was really part of Sacramento. Like, they really genuinely loved me. And that moment I'll never forget. I'm talking, it was emotional, and but it was just special. It was special. And then it made me realize how amazing, the fans are and the people in the community. And that's why I stayed there for so long, for about 25 years with the, in Sacramento.
Hey, Ruthie. Hey, it's Kyle Draper. Thanks for jumping on with us, Ruthie. Obviously, a great WNBA career, a great career all around. When you look at the WNBA today, I look at you as one of the pioneers. Can you just remark on the state of the game and the growth of the game and, your impact on it over the years?
Oh, man, you know what? I get that all the time. I've done, a lot of different interviews, had a lot of conversations about the legacy. And you know what? And the thing about it is that that's what it's all about. It's about, creating a pathway, carrying the next generation on our shoulders. And so I'm glad what the WNBA is doing now and being part of the pioneer players. Dawn Staley and I talk about it all the time. When I see Cheryl Swoops and I see Lisa Leslie, it's like, hey, you know what? What we did was amazing. The foundation for these girls taking off, and they're doing some amazing things. And we're glad that we sacrificed. We think about sometimes, I know the financial aspect. They paid us for the whole year with the national team, our contract was I think $50,000 before taxes. Okay, so but it is just it's great. We wanted to get to this place. We wanted to get to where women, more eyes are be on the women. So I'm happy. I'm thankful for how the game has grown, and you got young girls, not just young girls, young boys. You know, men. Like, man, I got to go to the WNBA game. Like, man, them girls be balling. So that's a beautiful thing, and that's what we all have prayed and have worked so hard for. And so I'm excited about where it's going.
Yeah, Ruthie Bolton with us. Speaking of doing amazing things, you got the new book, Sent with Purpose. Ruthie, who would benefit the most from reading this book, and what's it about?
Oh man, you know, I don't know if y'all saw a small family of 20. I'm 16 or 20, and 20 girls and boys. And my father was a minister, and so I grew up in the church. I grew up, you know, and so what I went through, I don't even know if y'all even know my whole story. Like, I don't even have the time to go into it. I went through a lot. Doubts and fears. I was, you know, fortunate, you know, so I was a victim of cyber violence. I've gone through challenges career-wise. I've gone through knee injuries, and there are times where my faith was shaken. I felt like sometimes I felt like giving up. I felt like, is it worth it? But I just hung in there. It was this voice saying, "You got this. You built for this." So at every crossroads, I said, "You know what? No, I heard this voice saying, you got this." So I'm encouraged. And so with that said, I know that everything I've gone through, everything that I've endured, and like I said, people don't even really know the story. Like, there's times I had to, you know, write in my journal and shed tears because of the challenges that I've had to go through. But at this moment in my life, understanding your purpose, in your purpose, in your seasons. You know, like sports is a season. Some things you do in different seasons and different parts of your career. It's like, you know, preseason, during the season, postseason, rest season, different things. So it's like, in my season now, what is important? What is the most important thing? Or in one season, anyone that reads, it's like, we get so caught up in where we want to go. We have these big dreams. But what are you doing about where you are? In this season, you may be in a season of waiting, or patience, of the wilderness, or a season. So are you going to make the best in that season? So that's really what I want the audience, I want the readers to understand. Like, wherever you are, maximize it. Don't get so caught up in like, oh my God, what am I going to do 10 years down the road? And I know say long-term goals, that's fine. But how can I be the best version of me now? I might not be where I want to go, but I'm going to be the best I can be right now. And I'm going to keep a good attitude. I'm going to keep the right mindset. That'd be like when I played with the junior national team, I came off the bench. And when the coach called my name, I was ready. In the meantime, I didn't sit there complaining like, why am I not starting? I should be playing more. I was there, and when she called my name, I was ready. And I came in some games and scored 30 points. I came in some games, scored 40 points off the bench. And that's the year that I was player of the year. I think first time ever a player come off the bench. My point is that in our process, we got to trust the process of where we are, but have the mindset to grow, have a mindset to thrive. And so I know this book going to impact people's lives. I know without a doubt. I've had people already say, "Oh my goodness, just reading what it says on the back is enough to just empower, empower me, empower each other." They, some people read the back. They say, "I ain't got to read what's inside." On the back just talks about, hey, if you ever felt like giving up, have you ever felt like wondering why were you created? You feel like you've gone through so much a setback, you could never, you would never get back on where you want to go. It talks about, hey, your setback is a setup for a comeback. Your setback could be a place where it's just preparing you on the battleground of what your true purpose is. So I would just encourage the audience, it just where you are, your purpose. It may be different than someone else. Someone else to your right may be going through their life, seem like it's great, and you're going through struggle. But you know what? You're being prepared. You're being pruned for something so much bigger than you. And if you trust the process, I'm telling you, you're going to reap amazing things. And in the process, people watching you are going to grow, seeing like, man, I've seen, Johnny was going through so much, or Susie was going through so much, and they could have quit, but they didn't. And so we teach people about resilience. So that's the hope that my life has been as a mirror to some people's lives. Like, oh yeah, I want resilience like that.
Ruthie Bolton joining us, the great Ruthie Bolton, Jersey, retired here at Golden One Center. Ruthie, your story resonates with me. Obviously, the car crash when you were 18 years old. You speak about the domestic violence also in your book. Victory Through Faith and Purpose. Let me ask you, and this is personal, as someone who's thought about writing the book, someone who's considered sharing my entire story, not just the bits and pieces that the public knows, what advice would you give me about making that leap and, being, because right now, Ruthie, I'll keep it real, I'm fearful to put everything out there on the record. What advice would you give someone like me who's thinking about it but aren't sure whether they want to actually make that leap?
But you know what though? Listen, when ESPN wanted to do that documentary on my life story, and I was going through domestic violence, and I had so much fear, like, what are people going to think? They're going to be like, why do you go through domestic violence? Why did your husband do that to you? What did you do to deserve that? And I had all these different fears and all these different things in my head. And I said, no, I'm not doing it. And they said, you know what? I know it's tough. But when they said you're going to change so many people's lives, you're going to impact lives. You'll never meet all the people that you're going to impact. It clicked. A light came on. Say, you know what? To whom much is given, much is required. And it's service above self. So when that happened, I said, you know what? I'm doing it. And when I decided to commit to doing the documentary and writing the book, every time that I shared, I was healing in the process. And guess what? Everything that tried to hold me captive, everything that tried to hold me in bondage, it was being released. Because when you think about vulnerability, you may think it's a weakness, but it's a strength. It's a power, because whatever has tried to hold your mind captive, it doesn't have any more power over you. So your fear, I'm not saying just air out, 100% your dirty laundry or whatever, but with things that are occupying your mind and keeping you from thriving, you're afraid of what people are going to think. I was there, but I'm telling you, I didn't realize how unhealed I was. But the fact that I started to let go and let God, the fact that I started to let go and trust Him and sharing, I took my power back. And I know without a doubt, you're empowering people. People going to read your story. They're going to see the authentic. They'll see, man, thank you for sharing your pain with me, because your pain going to become someone else's power. And if you're courageous enough and you bold enough to step out, I'm telling you, you're going to impact so many people's lives, and you're going to save so many people's lives. You're going to shift the atmosphere in so many people's lives. You're going to give them permission to be brave and to be courageous and to be bold and say, you know what, it's okay to be where I'm at. It's okay to be myself. It's okay. What we call vulnerability is really a strength. And I'm telling you, you're going to impact people's lives. And that's what I share with people everywhere I go there. Well, I want to share this, but, I'm telling you, let it go. People will be moved by your story. And that's what everybody's story is about. I have a podcast too called The Heart of a Champion. And the guests that we've had on talking about what make them a champion. They've got a chance to release and share so much that every time we've done one, it has every tear. It had to be a dry eye in there, because they get a chance. And now, not only are they free, not only are they flying, they are soaring, because they've let go these layers of things of guilt, unworthiness, or fear. All these layers of things that's trying to keep you from thriving, keep you from being the best version of yourself. And now they've released those things, and now they feel so empowered. I always call it the flex. When I flex all the time, I always flex like this is the time you want to flex up on. You know what? Because adversity make you bitter or make you better. And so I just choose what make me better. So every day I get up, at 57 years old, I said, how can I be the best? And I tell my kids, I pray with them every morning, my 15-year-old, my 13-year-old, how can you be the best version of you? Don't try to be like anybody else. You be the best 13-year-old as you could be. Christopher, hope you be the best 15-year-old as you can be. And me, I got to be accountable for what God has given me and my story, my platform. And I have to be accountable for that.
Ruthie Bolton, her new book, Sent with Purpose. Thanks very much for your time, Ruthie, and for sharing those inspirational words. And I just want to thank you real quick. I know there's no way you would remember this, but years and years and years ago, you met one of my daughters when she was very young, and you were just so kind, and we've just never forgotten that you were so gracious and so kind to her, and she remembers it. She's a mother herself now. She fondly remembers that. We all will. Yeah. So
you know what?
Thank you very much, Ruthie. Yeah.
I just want to say, you know what, and thank you for sharing that, because those are I call them the 3-point play, because, the game of basketball, you can score, but when you score and get fouled and you make it free throw, it's just an adrenaline booster. It's like, but I love to hear that, because I just ran into someone that son met me when he was 10 years old. And we were coming from Phoenix, didn't know him from Adam. This little kid was fascinated with me. I guess I had the medals. He said, "Can she sit by us?" And they were like, "Stop, don't bother her." I said, "Of course I will." And he said, "You came back and you sat by him, didn't know us from Adam, and you talked to him. You impacted him so much." And so guess what? It was her son that was there. He's 28 now. And he said, "Yes, I remember that." And so it was like, oh, man, that warmed my heart. He said, the mom said, "Thank you so much for making his day and making our day. You trusted us enough. You trust that space." I said, "Well, what I say then, that to whom much is given, much is required." So I feel that today. So thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ruthie. Ruthie, good luck with the book, Ruthie. And we hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
All
right, Ruthie.
All right,
now.
Ruthie Bolton, the book again, Sent with Purpose. She's got me ready to go, Drapes.
She got me ready to go,
Yeah,
big fella. I'm about to
yeah.
write chapter 1 of my book right now, man. No, that very inspirational words there from Ruthie. I really appreciate that. Seriously.
Adversity will make you bitter or make you better. Yeah, I'm going to remember that one. When we come back, we talked about this Friday. Did the 49ers really lowball Brock Purdy? Somebody says that's not true. Some interesting things going on around the NFL, especially with the 49ers. We're back with that from the Go One Center next on Sacktown Sports.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-931-6677. That's 800-931-6677. 800-931-6677.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
In the Shag Bag, the renovation of Poppy Ridge Golf Course in Livermore, California continues on schedule for a reopening this year. Architect Jay Blasey's design assures a golf course we can look forward to playing a few months down the road. Check poppyridgegolf.ncga.org for updates. And Rod Metzler, PGA with Courseco, reports that the Campus Commons golf course continues to grow in after a complete redesign and is also scheduled to reopen in the next couple of months. I'm hearing a lot of talk about the nighttime crowd at the Hagen Oaks driving range with their Top Tracer technology. You'll find accomplished players alongside newbies searching for that first center of the club face experience that brings them back for more. The order of the evening is fun, so it might be worth a look. National Golf Foundation reports 45 million Americans over the age of 6 played golf both on course and off course in 2023. When can we count you on that list? That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
The Amish have a reputation for craftsmanship, determination, and quality. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. You know, those virtues sound quite similar to the Keys family and the day-to-day values on display at Naturewood. The Amish furniture craftsmanship begins with the finest hardwood, shaping and molding the raw materials into one-of-a-kind art. In addition to the classic styles long sought and revered by discriminating furniture lovers, Naturewood Home Furnishings offers a vast selection that includes transitional, modern, farmhouse, arts and crafts, and other stunning styles, all available in the ultimate Amish standard of excellence built over centuries. All Naturewood Amish furniture is on sale right now for a limited time. Let the Naturewood team guide you through their selection of Amish furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Everyone has a past, but what happens if you've made mistakes and made good on that past, but it keeps following you? Are you looking for an attorney to erase past records and restore your rights? Maybe even restore your gun rights? Do you need a reputable criminal defense attorney who knows even good people make bad mistakes? Well, the attorneys at Gonzalez Law Office are here to help. Find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. We don't settle for less, and neither should you.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Thanks to Ruthie Bolton for joining us. She inspired a lot of us, even the short time she was with us. Looks like she may have inspired Kyle Draper to go ahead with that book he's been thinking of writing. Dan to the Young asking, does Draper's book include a chapter subsection with Campio? And I don't know if he means Campio writing it or just a chapter subsection about Campio. Or
come on, man. Why would I do that? Still have not met Campy, even though I was golfing in his backyard out there, at Bing Maloney about a month ago. And so maybe I'll give a shout out to the Chateau. You know what I mean? You and Jay might have to be in the book, Whitey.
Wow.
A tell-all, if you will. Drive Guys tell-all.
Which listener is going to write the foreword for the book?
Nah, I got to be somebody good. Like, they got none of our chat people, that's for sure. These clowns, these jokers. No,
any of your coworkers, maybe?
Nah, I don't know, man. And I'd have to get like Magic Johnson or somebody famous. You know what I mean? So somebody that I've encountered in my career.
Dominique, you're supposed to be such good friends with him.
My boy Dominique. Could have Dominique do it as well. So, dude, it's in the very early stages. Like it's in here right now in my head.
Right.
So that's. If you ask somebody to write the foreword, that's an honor that you bestow to someone.
You're doing them a favor.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Right? Like, I trust you enough. I value our relationship enough that I want you. It's like asking somebody to be your best man at a wedding. That's what I'm talking about.
I see. I don't think Brock Purdy's going to get the invitation, is he, to write your foreword?
Nah, not at all. Brock, $45 million man? Nah.
Now, we talked about that Friday, about the $45 million offer, and it was Jason La Canfora who didn't really say that the 49ers had offered him that much to begin negotiations. He kind of implied that they had. Diana Rossini says they did not. She says that would have been an insult, which is what I was trying to tell you Friday. She says, no, there's no way they started negotiations at 45. That's what Geno Smith is hoping to get from the Raiders, $45 million. So there's no way they started at 45.
So hold on there. You sure about that? So let me ask you this.
I'm sure everything I said is true.
How much did Josh Allen get per year? I'm talking. I need to look this up again.
Massive deal. I don't have the numbers.
Massive deal. It was 6 years. What? 6 year, 330. Let's do the math. That's not $60 million per year. In relation to Josh Allen, where should Brock Purdy be?
He should be above 45. That's all I'm saying.
All right, 48 Allen. Then. Like, no,
50 at least.
Come on, man. Josh Allen is a shade over 50. You know, Josh Allen is $56 million.
That's more than a shade over 50.
56.
Which one of those two has come the closest to winning the Super Bowl?
Which one of those two is better?
Josh Allen's
all
better.
Right, that's what
so
I'm saying.
he should get more money. I don't even know what we're arguing about.
Just because the Cowboys were dumb and gave Dak Prescott 60, that doesn't mean that's where the market is.
I didn't say 60.
NFL, but hold up. Let me make my point. Let me make my point here. I think NFL owners are sort of reestablishing and resetting the market, if you will. If Josh Allen is tier A, top of the tier, let's say, him, Mahomes, who else you want to throw in there? At $56 million. Lamar Jackson, $56 million. Unless Brock is $50 million.
That's an average annual
value.
Yeah, so he's probably getting more than 56 for some of those.
Right. I mean, over time,
yeah.
And the last year is probably 63 or so, 64.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, and we're talking average annual value, if Josh Allen averages $56 million, if you will, Brock Purdy, let's say he is a $50 million quarterback.
That's what I'm saying is at least that, yeah.
But as a negotiator, and we talked about this last week, as an owner, as a boss, I'm coming in on the low end.
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, 45.
45 is an insult, in my opinion. And Diana Rossini says, A, it's not true. And in her opinion, it's an insult. Yeah. All right.
I got to hear the content. Let me hear it.
I think it's everybody.
Come on,
I think everyone is looking at the situation as, Brock deserves top of the market kind of money because that's what the market says. I think the San Francisco 49ers are smart enough to go, well, no, you weren't like a first overall pick.
Do you think it's disrespectful? Because I read online, I don't even know if this is true or not, that...
You sound like my mom. I read it online.
Yeah, I mean, look, I honestly, I am so... I believe you, and I believe maybe like a few other people. Like, I just don't just believe everything, but there was something that came out that the starting offer was $45 million a year for Brock Purdy. Do you think that's disrespectful?
That would be disrespectful, and that did not happen.
Okay. Wow.
That's not true.
It didn't happen.
That did not.
Okay.
They did not offer 45 million.
And that's why I don't believe everything I hear.
I will.
That was Diana Rossini with Chase Daniel. And by the way, here's what's going on here. I'm saying, wow, 45 would be disrespectful. And you're saying, well, he's not worth 60. And it's like, I didn't say he was worth 60.
I'm saying, is it disrespect? Like, let's say the Niners think he's a $50 million quarterback. And I did the math. Josh Allen is $55 million average annual value. Let's say they think Brock is a $50 million quarterback. Historically, and we've seen it, we saw it last year with IU, they come in low. 45. That's just the opening salvo, if you will. And so that's why I'm saying it's not out of the realm if you think a guy is 50 million that you hit him with 45. If you're an owner, if you're like, I think the market is being reset to an extent. This whole 60 million that we talked about all this past season, that was skewed by the Dak Prescott. Now, realistically, to me, Brock is at most a $50 million a year quarterback. If Josh Allen's 55, at most Brock is a $50 million. So to me, 45 isn't that far off, that much of an insult.
Tua's at 53-1. You think Tua's better than Brock Purdy? I don't. Tua's good.
But Josh Allen is at 55. So is Brock Purdy closer to 55 or is he closer to 50? Or just because the Dolphins overpaid, just because the Cowboys overpaid, I'm saying Josh Allen is resetting the market right now. I think that's Jay, weigh in on this. You see what I'm saying? Like, if Josh Allen's only getting 55 and Dak got 60, something's off. The market is being reset as we speak, Whitey. It kind of reminds me of, I think it was 2017.
Trevor Lawrence is 55.
That's old. That's the old market. 2017 in the NBA, a bunch of teams had, I think it was 2000, had cap space. Evan Turner getting $72 million. Overpay. After that, the market sort of reset.
Yeah, but I think I understand that everything you're saying is true, but I think the reason his average annual is relatively low is because it's a 6-year deal. So if you can't take a guy's average annual is 55 on a 6-year deal and say, see, it's 55 million a year. Therefore, Brock Purdy should only get 50 because to a degree it's apples and oranges. Now we'll see where it goes. But to me, I'm in the Rossini camp, 45 for Brock Purdy. I don't believe that's what they offered to begin with. And I think if they did, it's disrespectful. Brock Purdy's worth a lot more than that. So much more than that 45 to start, I think would be disrespectful. And I doubt that that's what they offered him.
All right. We agree to disagree on that. I think 45 is an opening number that the Niners would throw out there. I
can see it from both sides, fellas. I think both of you guys have great points in the fact of if I'm negotiating Drapes, I'm starting low. I'm with you. And I'm also, it's kind of like arbitration. I'm also saying, hey, listen, you came from the back of the pack. I understand it. You know, you haven't won the big game. You've taken us to the big game. Like within arbitration, you're going to have some highs and some lows. And that's the tough part about arbitration. You know, I have to kind of talk about your deficiencies and talk about your positives, you know, what you do well. And so I can see how they could start around that 47, 48. But I'm also with you, Drapes. When the point of, I don't think I'm kicking it up to 60. But when it comes to the side of what you're saying, Whitey, is I think there's a sweet spot. I don't think you want to disrespect him to make him walk away. And all of a sudden now we have a, in the public type spat where we've seen it with Brandon Ayuk and Debo and guys like that. And I don't think the 49ers want that type of negative promo at this point. So I can see it both ways. I think you have to find a sweet spot for Brock. And I also understand, and we've heard it a few times, the Players Association, they don't feel like Brock should be taking a sweet spot. And so I think Brock's going to take a little heat too, because I think Brock understands, but I'm not worth $60 million. I definitely not. Not when we're talking about Lamar Jackson's MVPs, Josh Allen's, Pat Mahomes, guys like that. Like, no, there's a sweet spot for him. So I can see it on both sides.
Yeah, it is. I understand too. Negotiating, you're not going to bend over backwards to make a guy feel good until you have to. We have more to talk about with the 49ers. They signed a tight end. Also, are the officials really out to get the Kings? Because a lot of fans around here are sure that they are. That and more with the Drive Guys when we come right back to Goal One Center right here on Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something?
Boat wins!
Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing?
Boat wins!
Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing?
Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat.
Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head, and the total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
KHD 1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Oh, it's very nice here at Golden One Center. Tonight is Happy Holi Night. That's a celebration of the Hindu Festival of Colors, if I'm not mistaken. And I mention it because on each seat here in the Golden One, there are colorful towels, that say Happy Holi. So, yeah.
We got to see one. Hold up. Yeah, let me hold up. Be right back.
Yeah,
stand by.
They got
Stand
one
by.
on every seat in the place. And we got some seats right by us here. So very colorful. Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Drapes. That's the giveaway tonight. I posted that on
got you, big
X
fella.
earlier.
Yeah, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Show it up to our YouTube chatters. They probably want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, right there.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
All right,
Very
solid,
colorful.
solid.
Yes, it'll be a colorful night. Hopefully a night of victory tonight for the Kings, because they could sure use one after the heartbreak of last night.
Exactly. And when we look at this difficult March schedule, this was one of the games we talked about was going to be hard. It was going to be tough. You get this one. Now you're like, all right, we can beat some of the better teams in the league. And so, no, this is a big one tonight, Wade.
Mm-hmm. A lot of fans are feeling after last night and after the Denver game last week that the officials are out to get the Kings. Now, that's been, Jay will tell you, that's been a thing with Kings fans for a long time, rightly or wrongly.
Yeah.
Maybe some Kings fans have leaned into a little too much. In some cases, you can't blame them, because you go back to some of those games against the Lakers. You got even the players saying, oh, yeah, they were out to get us. Be that as it may, where are we right now with that? Are the officials out to get DeMar DeRozan and the Kings?
Nah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I will say they don't get the superstar whistles. I don't think it's a Kings thing. I think if Jokic was on Sacramento, we'd be getting the calls. So it's not necessarily a Kings thing. It's, you know what? Kawhi, James Harden, Jokic, LeBron, Tatum. These are some of the it guys in the league. And, for whatever it is, for whatever reason, our guys are not viewed the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always been that way in the NBA, right? Star calls. Superstars get the whistle, the benefit of the whistle. And so it's not a Sacramento thing in this case, I don't think.
Yeah, last night was that was a weird call against DeMar DeRozan late in regulation, where a foul was called and he was knocked down, and then the officials reviewed it. I know you and Katie were trying to figure out where this could possibly go. As I watched the reviews and I saw contact on the wrist, my thinking was, well, it's not a high five. He hit him on the wrist. So if you hit him on the wrist, it has to be a foul. But, of course, the officials decided, no, the ball had already been released. I thought DeMar was going to go ballistic, but he seemed more confused by anything.
Yeah.
I thought I saw him go to the officials and say,
look for an
on the wrist.
It's like,
why is that not a foul?
And me and Katie are looking at it, and we're on the I thought it was a no-doubter. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a foul. And then, Tyler Ford and his lengthy explanation and everything, and I'm like, what?
And then the longer before he even spoke, the longer it took to review it, you knew, like, uh-oh.
Right,
this is taking far too long.
And then he used the magic word, marginal. And I'm so sick of that word in the NBA and its circle. It's unfortunate, because if I'm correct, at the time, obviously Kings were up, I think, 4 at the time, maybe, and had a chance to actually go to the line, 3 free throws.
Yeah.
You know, and
that might have iced it.
That might have iced it right there, right?
Yeah.
It was actually a 2-point game at that time. You go up 5, maybe that
2-possession game.
Possession game under a minute to play. You know, so that's a tough one. I like I said, Jokic gets that call. Tatum gets that call. LeBron gets that call. Steph, 100 out of 100 times, in my opinion, gets that call. That's what was so frustrating. And then not even Whitey to, you know, you make the call on the court, but then to overturn it. That's what's so frustrating. It's like that's not even a superstar call. Like a superstar call, you get the call, you move on. You looked at this, looked at everything we looked at.
Yeah, send it to Secaucus or
Seabiscuit. Everybody's got a chance to see this. And you 3 are the only ones that, you know, say it should be overturned. That's and here's the thing about it, Whitey. This is the difference between 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. You know what I mean? Like, these little calls, you know, come back to bite you in the butt. That would have been a massive win last night.
Did the offense become too DeMar-centric down the stretch of regulation, in your opinion? I think you become easier to guard when everyone knows where it's going. But other than, you know, I don't understand what happened on that play still. It would look like a foul.
Yeah.
He took a bad shot his next time down the floor.
Yeah.
But other than that, he had 10 assists. I know after the game, Keegan was asked about the ball movement. It was kind of a loaded question. The suggestion, like, is the ball sticking? He said, no, I think we're getting the looks we want. They got some decent looks other than the bad shot DeMar took. I thought it was another example of how they just haven't played together long enough to know as a group how to best navigate those situations. It's not an excuse, but they better figure it out. But right now it's an issue.
And let's give the Clippers some credit. This is a number 3 defensive team in the league in rating, in terms of rating. Like, they're elite defensively. Like, we haven't been able to shoot the ball from 3 good against them all season long. Their size, their length on the perimeter makes life difficult. And so this was one of those games where you got to give the opponent some credit. You know, this wasn't all about lack of offensive execution. And watching this game and calling this game, and the fact that the Kings only had 8 turnovers, like, to me, that's a huge sign, because during the shoot around, during the film session, it was all about the Clippers defense and how they attack the ball, not only when you're guarding it, but Chris Dunn will come from behind and try to swipe Kawhi. And so I thought the Kings offensively actually did a pretty good job. I will say, and I got to look at the advanced box score, I felt like the Clippers did get a lot of deflections last night that necessarily didn't lead to turnovers all the time.
I got a question about the Kings defense, and I'll ask it when we come right back to the Go One Center. Kyle Draper, Whitey Gleason Drive. Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all grills are created equal. When buying a new grill, every detail matters. For March, grab a $149 gift with purchase of every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill, including a pizza lover starter kit and much more. More March savings include up to $79 off Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium stainless steel that boasts quality. See how Napoleon will help you achieve the perfect grilling experience. Visit Green Acres Nursery today with your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity. Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered the fastest connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do! Yeah! Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with 2 people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speed vary. Not guaranteed.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Welcome to Pylon Whitey time. At least I think that's where we're headed, because I got a question about the Kings defense last night. And I know the Kings have been putting up some really impressive defensive numbers, which is terrific. Last night, I didn't think they defended that well, Drapes. The Clippers shot 53% from the floor. And the Clippers, points in the paint, 64-40. They did miss a lot of free throws. So, I mean, and the Kings' transition defense at times was really bad. So I know I don't dispute they have been playing excellent defense. I just didn't think last night, start to finish, their defense was really notable. Am I wrong?
You're just trolling right now. I'm not.
They shot 53%.
Dude, nobody cares about the box score. What about the eye test? Kawhi Leonard was in Sing Sing. He was shackled up so much. James Harden got going in the third quarter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What really, I thought from a defensive game plan, the Kings did excellent. What killed the Sacramento Kings wasn't James Harden, his 29 points. Zubac's 22 and 14. But to me, Derrick Jones Jr. scoring 17.
Right.
He's probably fifth on the scouting report. Kudos to him. He hit 2 threes. Nick Batum, a perfect 3 for 3. Like, I thought the Kings took away the first and second option. Like, James Harden, dude, he only had 8 free throw attempts. They kept him off the line. You know what I mean? He had some tough shots. And sometimes the numbers don't indicate whether or not you played good defense, especially when you're going against Hall of Famers. James Harden's hit a lot of tough shots, Whitey. That's why you can't look at the box score, big fella. Wake up the next day, the Kings defense, they shot 53%.
I watched the game. I didn't think especially in the second quarter, their transition defense at times last night, it was embarrassing. Then they leveled out. But Kawhi Leonard was beating them down the floor, right?
You're not going to play 48 minutes of perfect defense there. So the Clippers, 20 points in the first quarter, Whitey. 21 points in the third quarter. 25 points in the fourth. I'm taking that, big fella. What are we talking about here? Look at the points.
The Kings had 23 in the first quarter. It was that type of game. It was a grinded out game.
You
was a low scoring
you
game.
being sports talk radio guy right now. That's you pulling out your Allen Styles card right now.
What was the score at the end of regulation? What were we tied at?
Dude, we were in the 90s, 97.
Exactly.
That's
that
great
was the
defense.
Type of game it was.
That's a great defensive game.
It was a slow game.
Come on. Hey, I'm not going to be the only one that disagrees with this guy on something like this. You can't wake up on a Tuesday or a Monday and say, man, look at the dude.
I watched the game.
20 points. 20. Of course, there were some defensive breakdowns, Whitey.
Yeah.
And we talked about the second quarter when Kawhi was beating them down the floor. That's what we talked about. That's when they were sluggish. That's why they had 31 points. But 23 quarters of 25 or fewer points in today's NBA? Come on now. Come on, Whitey. They scored 111 points in overtime. An overtime game.
Yeah.
You know, you can't.
Not the first thing I look at when I look at how well a team defended, especially when you're getting beaten down the floor. I'm not saying they were horrible. I'm just saying I think we get a little carried away with the narrative of what great defense they're playing right now. Last night, I didn't think it was great defense. They had some moments. Overall, of late, they've been defending well, but I think we tend to get a little carried away with it. Last night was a slow-paced, grinded-out game, and I think that's kind of where the Kings are right now, and they were toe-to-toe with a team that's how they play. But I didn't think that was a master class in defense. So
no, you're changing the direct. You're changing the narrative.
I'm telling you, they did not play
that
great
wasn't
defense.
that wasn't a good defensive game. Then it wasn't a great defensive game. Now it's not a master class in defense.
They did not play great defense last night, in my opinion. And I think we're getting carried away with what great defense they're playing.
Yeah,
the game was low scoring.
That's like marginal. You know, your great version of great defense might be different than Campio's version. I thought Keegan Murray played great defense last night. Did he play great defense?
Yeah, he did a really good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There are at times the Kings played great defense. And when you hold a team in 3 quarters, Whitey, to do the math, 66 points.
A lot.
This ain't the New York Knicks and Miami Heat in the mid 90s, Whitey. Like, these are elite scorers in Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. You know, you held Kawhi and James Harden, do the math here, to 48 points. I'm taking that every day of the week. Our stars had 61. I could argue it was the offense that failed the Sacramento Kings last night, not the defense.
What does the offense, how does it need to be better, especially down the stretch of games? And how much of that last night was just they were tired? That's not an excuse, but it happened. The team says we were tired. It's like, you can't say that, but it does happen. And it's a factor.
Right. Yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, it's part of the game, right? As finely conditioned athletes as these guys are, you get tired at times. Like Valanciunas is playing some major minutes. Look at the minutes Keegan played. Look at DeMar, Zach. Like these guys are playing 44, 47 minutes out there. And so at times I would imagine they did get tired, and I'm looking at some of the numbers here, from the fourth quarter, because that's really where the game was lost, fourth quarter and overtime. We only had 22 points in the fourth quarter. We held them to 25, and we were 1 for 6 from 3. They were 1 for 6. But here's the thing. You make DeMar 0 of 4 from 3 in the fourth quarter. Zach doesn't even get up a 3 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And so I look at the offense, to your point, what needs to happen. I don't know, because we have elite ISO guys. Like that's what they do. Like that's DeMar's strength. You put it in his hands, and DeMar, we riding you to the promised land. Zach, we're riding you to the promised land. What would we like to see differently?
Maybe see the ball in Zach LaVine's hands a little more often. Maybe run a few more things through him. I'm just looking for possibilities here.
And they did that final possession in regulation, right?
Yes. After a timeout. Yeah. It's just frustrating, as everyone knows, if you're a Kings fan, when you go, a minute 48 without scoring, when the game is right there.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said, give the Clippers some credit. They're bread and butter this year's defense. And Van Gundy's had a lot to do with that, right?
He's a hell of a job. Yeah. I mean, and Katie said it during the broadcast. We ain't seen Bogdan Bogdanović play defense like that ever. Like he was picking up three-quarter court trying to make life difficult. This is a reinvented Clippers team versus the one we saw in previous years when Paul George was there. This team is a defensive-oriented team, and they got the Kings out of the offensive sync out there over that last 148.
Yeah, the Kings, in order to climb into the top 8, they're going to have to put together some kind of winning streak, because there's just the gap now is too great. Some of the teams ahead of you, specifically the Warriors and even Minnesota, they're starting to play well. So, yeah, you look at how close you are to them. The numbers say, oh, you can catch them, but you're not catching them unless you start putting something together, which is so frustrating when you come so close. But that's about the only way, and it's not easy. But you've got one tonight, as tough as it is because you played last night. You got to beat this team tonight.
Yeah,
they're struggling, and they're without their best player.
Yeah, you definitely got to beat this team, and they got some good players. We understand that.
Yeah.
But to your point, that loss last night. Now the Clippers own the tiebreaker. Minnesota owns the tiebreaker. Warriors, we got to see what happens coming up on Thursday. And so, right now you're a game and a half behind the Clippers. Really, it's like 2.5 right now behind the Clippers. And so now you almost don't control your own destiny. You need some help. You need the Clippers to fall apart some more, lose a few games that they shouldn't lose. And so that's the hard part about it, Whitey. I'm looking at the Clippers schedule. 8 games against teams over 500, 10 games against teams under 500. So they got pretty, relatively easy schedule.
Right.
Same thing with Minnesota. 7 games against teams over 500.
What are they? Are they 8 over now?
Minnesota, 8 over. They've been,
That's going to be tough to catch.
I'm looking at but that's the thing. We're 1 behind these guys in the loss column, but you need them to cough up a few. You know what I mean? And you have to win some games that you probably on paper shouldn't win. Damn, that's tough. But let me ask you this, though, because I don't want to be sports talk radio reaction guy, that I've been hearing, throughout the day. Is 9, obviously it's not ideal. But if they wind up in 9th place, my view is, okay, a little bit harder, but go out there and handle your business. And so if they end up at 9 and they beat Phoenix and then they go beat Minnesota and they're number 8, I'm okay. To me, it's about the results at the end of the season instead of riding on this roller coaster every game.
That's true.
Because if they're a 9 and they make it to the 8th seed and in the playoffs, okay.
Look, the bottom line is we just want them to get into the postseason, the playoffs, to your point. It's just a lot easier to do that from 7 or 8 than it is 9 or 10. Plus, if you're 9 or 10, as Slate said, then the best you can do is play OKC. But you're right. You get in the playoffs, every Kings playoff team has been memorable. You're cherished as a team if you make the playoffs.
Right.
Even the late towards the end of the Webb era when some of those teams were it's kind of coming apart, they were still playoff teams.
Yeah.
Talking like 06,
06, 05, 06.
So you get in the playoffs, yes, that's an accomplishment. Just a lot tougher from the 9 or 10 slate.
And I would say, and who knows what happens this offseason, to me, getting into the playoffs, to your point, is an accomplishment, is something they can build on. Look at, and I said it before, look at Michael Malone's tenure in Denver. I think they missed the playoffs his first 3 seasons. You don't go from out of the playoffs to championship contender overnight.
Even he has said that 1 year before they got into the playoffs, he said, well, they win 46 and missed, he said, a lot of owners would have fired me.
Right. He thought he might get out.
Yeah.
And so, to me, I think these last 20 games or whatever, play-in tournament, hopefully playoffs, is a building block, a chance to build going forward. Is it ideal? No. Do we as Kings fans want this team to be the number 1 seed, go to the finals? Yes. But just because it doesn't happen right now this season doesn't mean they're not on the path to do it.
In my opinion, it's the most exaggerated narrative surrounding the Kings right now, this notion, because something was I think it was in the Athletic piece, and I love both those guys. They do great work. But it was something to the effect of, it's uncertain whether Doug Christie will be back next year. Okay, sure. I mean, yeah, but the way things are going, he will be. But now, that gets aggregated, and then people start talking about, well, with the Kings, who knows who the coach is going to be? Come on. If this team gets into the playoffs or anywhere near it, Doug Christie's going to be the coach. How in the world could you not give him the job when he's held the team together through this, as you've said? Now, again, if they lose every game from here, which I don't think they will, yeah, okay. But right now to sit there and go, gee, they don't know who the coach is going to be. They're not worried about that right now. If things continue the way they're going, we know who the coach is going to be.
And here's the thing, too, Whitey. The most important thing that Doug has going for him, obviously the wins, 20-12, turned it around, got the team playing hard. But we know the owner is a fan of his.
Exactly.
The guy that signs the checks.
Exactly.
Wanted him as the interim coach.
Yes.
And so, even if they don't make it, or to your point, if they do make it to the playoffs, he's going to be the guy.
Yes.
Vivek is going to say, no, that's our guy. That's a Kings legend who helped turn this season around. He deserves another opportunity.
Mm-hmm. As if that shot wasn't hard enough for Kings fans to watch last night. Got more bad news for you on that next year from the Goal One Senators to Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Consolidated Communications.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. A mix of clouds and sunshine on Tuesday. Morning temperatures will be in the low 40s. Afternoon high still around 70 degrees, but there will be a stronger onshore breeze in the evening. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
For your home internet, choose more speed and less frustration. Fidium Fiber Internet was built for reliability. It's perfect for streaming sports, watching TV, and working from home. Check out FidiumFiber.com for speeds up to 2 gigs.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet, and we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place...
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the A to Z savings event at AutoZone.
Yeah, happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with the rotors.
Free. Really?
Really, free.
Okay, I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah, how much is that?
Free with 5 quarts of oil.
Free? Really?
Really, free. It's part of the A to Z savings event.
You might as well call it A to free.
At AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
You've heard the saying, penny wise, pound foolish, right? It means you do something that will save you a little bit right now, just pennies, but that ends up costing you pounds in the end.
People put off tuning up their furnace because they don't want to take the time or spend the money to get it done.
But it only takes 90 minutes and costs just $87, which is just pennies compared to the huge problems and expenses that can rack up if you don't get your furnace tuned up.
You'll also save money on your energy bills and your system will last longer. So don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Call Bell Brothers for a precision tune-up and professional cleaning today. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Well, here's the story. Yeah, when our old heater collapsed with a heavy sigh, we needed a new one in the worst way. But there are so many HVAC companies out there. How do you choose? A friend recommended we check out Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating at leesair.com, and that was good advice. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating was ready to come out the day we called, treating us with the utmost respect, from the guy who answered the phone to the guys who installed our new HVAC unit, which is an incredible unit, by the way. Why choose Lee's? Because they offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. They get 4.8 stars on Google, so yeah, a lot of friends recommend them. They've won awards with their service, and they've spent more than 40 years serving the Valley's HVAC, heating, and plumbing needs. You can trust Lee's with installation and repair of your AC, furnace, and water heater, plus residential and commercial plumbing repair, and commercial HVAC services, too. You can find out more at leesair.com. Check out their mission statement. It's all about serving customers and serving the community. And check out their $99 HVAC tune-up service. Let Lee's take care of you the way they took care of me, treating us like family while setting us up with an HVAC system that has improved our quality of life while keeping us warm. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, license number 6353355.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. All right, I know what you're thinking. Here we go again, another Drapes commercial for his guys and girls down there at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. But trust me, listen to this. Whether you're in the market for a new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, they'll take care of you. Trust me, they got certified pre-owned vehicles starting at 3.49 APR on select 2021, 22, and 23 models. And take it from me, when you go to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, you leave out feeling like you're valued, like they trust you, like they care for you. Matter of fact, it's like they're your family. That's right. So for over 30 years, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has been there for the entire community. And get this, it's not that far away, guys. Just a short drive down I-5, or of course, online anytime at mbfstockton.com. So head on down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton and tell them Drape sent you. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper. As the proud sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew, Alsco Uniforms offers certified hygienically clean lab coats, scrubs, bed linens, towels, floor mats, and an array of mops tailored for your healthcare facility. Our services include convenient delivery to your doorstep. Leading the way in healthcare laundry services in Northern California, discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's alsco.com.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Drapes, here's another thing I've been thinking about since Friday when De'Aaron Fox came in and didn't play well. Fans thanked him for his service here.
Yep.
But I think it's possible that the Kings, with the whole Fox saga, ended up dodging a real bullet there. If he qualified for the Supermax, they would have had to pay him all that money. I don't know that they wanted to. I don't know that he's worth that much, and he's a fine player, don't get me wrong. So in a way, and I know it was cumbersome and it was awkward, and there was a lot of, bad PR for both sides, but they might end up, given what they got back, Zach and two future number ones, they might end up threading the needle on this thing where, earlier in the year, it looked like, wow, trade with De'Aaron Fox. You'd have to tear the whole thing down. They might actually have pulled this thing off.
Really?
Don't you think? We don't know yet.
We don't know yet. Right.
I mean,
right.
Zach LaVine this year is playing out of his mind.
Zach LaVine's been great, man. He's been. And here's the thing, too, Whitey, about Zach. I don't even feel like we're going to him enough.
I don't either.
Like, I feel like he could get more touches and more shot attempts. And I got to look up some of his numbers here. How many field goal attempts he's getting here in Sacramento. And I agree with you. And we got to see what these picks turn into, obviously. But in terms of a 1-for-1 swap. Let's say Zach and De'Aaron. It ain't Luka and AD, that's for sure.
Right.
It ain't, you know what I mean? It's much closer than people, actually give it credit for.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, we don't know what the 2031 pick is going to be, of course. It might be worth very little. But a lot of people that follow it very closely say that could end up being a really good pick. So you get two unprotected ones and Zach LaVine. So, again, all I'm saying is, that wasn't like they were, well, we got to do something. We got to make the best of this bad situation, take pennies on the dollar, pardon me. I think they might have threaded the needle on this thing. We'll see. And I think it speaks volumes as to how much credit Monty deserves.
What?
Yes.
Monty actually deserves credit?
I think so. He ain't going to get it.
Sports Talk Radio don't allow Monty to get no credit. What are you doing here?
But look, I mean, we'll see. I think it's possible that he ended up with quite a haul here.
I agree.
We'll see.
And it's still right. But, I'm going to make 2 quick points. One is about Zach LaVine and De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox this season in Sacramento, 25 points per game. Let me look at some of the numbers. 6.1 assists, 5 rebounds. But De'Aaron Fox took 19.6 shots per game, Whitey. Zach LaVine in the Sacramento Kings uniform is taking 17.1 shots per game. So that's a 2.5 shot difference. You give Zach LaVine 3 more shots where he's close to 20 shots, that 23.9 he's averaging with the Kings is 26, 27.
Where you can't compare them is De'Aaron Fox is an iffy shooter, a streaky shooter at best. Zach LaVine, especially this year, has been lights out shooter.
Yes, lights out.
There's other things De'Aaron does better, no question. It's not all about that. But in terms of shooting, the Kings got a much better player.
Well, I mean, I think Zach is probably a more complete offensive player. He's a 3-level scorer. He can knock down his free throws.
Some of his drives to the basket last night, pardon me, but they were amazing.
Right? He just slithers his way, you know? And I said it during the broadcast. It never looks like he's out of control or in a hurry. Or it's just
the only person you used slither for, though, was Jake the Snake.
Oh, you like that. You like that, right? You like that one. You like that. But where De'Aaron has the advantage is defensively.
Yes.
We can all agree on that, especially in a Gage locked in De'Aaron Fox. So it's a trade-off. And I've said, might have said it on this show, might have said it on the broadcast. I can't remember when we've had this complete of an offensive player, especially, on the wing. Like, I need to look back at, is it Kevin Martin? Is it like, how far back do we have to go?
Yeah, that's a good question.
To where, I'm talking an elite perimeter scorer like this guy. Man, he's been fantastic, Whitey. And remember, we were worried about the 3-point shooting. He's not shooting to 44.6, but he's at 41%.
When you consider the efficiency this year, you might have to go back to Peja. Maybe.
That's what I'm talking about, Whitey. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, we haven't seen, and this guy does it with ease. Like, to your point, you said about running more things through him late in game. Like, this guy, to me, he should be a 19, 20 shots a game guy easily because he's so efficient, too. You know what I mean? And so, man, I enjoy watching him. I thought Friday against San Antonio, he single-handedly pretty much just like took this game from, all right, it's close to, all right, it's time to get up on out of here.
Yep.
And so he's been fantastic for it. And he's only played 14 games, Whitey.
I know.
Think about that.
It's such a stunner when he doesn't shoot the 3-ball well, like last night. And I know he had some games when he first got here, but he's such a good shooter. Last night, it's like, damn.
Yes. I'm looking at, just some of the numbers. 41% from 3 we're talking about. Considering his early struggles when he first got here, Whitey.
Yeah.
And I 0 for 4, 3 of 9, 1 of 7. And you throw in last night to be shooting 41%.
That's overall, right? That's not just with the Kings?
No, that's just with the Kings.
Oh, well, that's incredible.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's just with the Sacramento Kings, 41%. And then over his last 6 games, Whitey, 62% from 3.
I think you guys, I didn't realize it last night watching, but at one point it's like, oh, he's 0 for 6 on threes, but he's made all of his twos.
He's made all the twos.
He was 10 for 16, I think.
Yes, he made all his twos. Yep, he was 10 for 10. And those were all pretty much drives to the basket.
Yeah.
Like he was phenomenal, I thought, last night.
Just
Just needed him to hit that 18-footer.
Right. And as we've said, it looked like he said to no one in particular, I thought I had it.
Thought he had it.
Yeah. But what happens? Clippers end up winning, of course, on the left-handed Kawhi Leonard running whatever it was. Tip of the cap to him. But at NBA.com, they rate all game-winning buckets like that. And they have a scale.
Do they really?
Do you know what the scale is?
No, I don't.
Well, if you're a Kings fan, you couldn't help but remember totally different play, but heartbreak like that reminds you of Robert Horry. And that's the guy for whom the scale is named at NBA.com.
The Horry scale?
The Horry scale. And so last night, that shot they gave him, it's based on importance of the game, celebration, difficulty game situation. So 3.5. See, you got a stars with his picture. 3.5 out of 5.
What, for last night?
On the Horry scale last night, yeah, for the shot.
That's insult to injury. Why we got to have his
I know.
there?
I know.
I did not know NBA.com did that.
Yeah, big shot Bob and all that.
What did they say about it? What did they say?
The shot wasn't a Game 7 winner in the playoffs, but it could go down as one of Leonard's more memorable moments in his time with the Clippers. Game winner sent the Clippers to their third straight win, could boost their hunt for a postseason win. With every contest meaning so much now in the playoff race, Leonard's soft touch and 2 friendly bounces might just be what the Clippers need to turn around their up-and-down season.
Okay.
3.5 Horrys.
All right.
Yeah.
3.5 Horrys.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, as bad as that was, it was nothing like that Horry shot. I saw somebody on Twitter today said, my wife left me a year and a half ago, and this is more heartbreaking than that.
About the Horry shot? Somebody said that?
About the shot last night.
Oh, last night?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right. Man, no, that was I was stunned, man, because at first glance, I thought he missed it. You know, I'm like,
well,
when he did.
Yeah.
And then it just like took a nice bounce, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I'm like, all right, we got this. You know, it's he's going to miss it. Went to the left hand, it bounced. I'm like, whew. And then all of a sudden it was like slow motion. Everything stopped. Almost like the one that you hit against Philly in the corner over there. It was like, and then it dropped. And I'm like, mother.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard.
Those few seconds right after it drops, or maybe even a split second, it seems like it lasts forever as you process it. You know, as a fan, when it goes against you or your team and you're, like, they just lost the game. That moment, that split second seems like it lasts a lifetime, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just like,
and you're in it, and you're in the fight. It's like, and then all of a sudden, shoot, it's over.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah. There have been a lot of games of late where we've had Kings games that start early, so our show has been a little truncated, and we were talking, how can we make that up to people? And I think might have been Jay or Drapes came up with the idea, like, hey, for that Knicks game, let's do an extra half hour.
Oh,
so was it your idea?
I think I'm only contracted on game days for 3.5 hour shows. Like, what's up with this 4-hour show?
Maybe it was RJ. Maybe it was his
RJ,
idea.
yeah.
Why don't you guys do an extra half hour? Also, since the game's on NBA TV, it starts late tonight. So, there's that too.
Yeah.
So we're with you till 6 o'clock.
Yes. Did you prepare a way back quiz for today? Or?
Actually, I did. I left it at home, but my wife texted it.
Oh, did she? Oh,
we're good to go.
Yes, sir. Coming through in the clutch.
So when we come back, Whitey's wish list for tonight, next year from the Goal One Center on Sacktown Sports.
My wife was like, I want to go to Hawaii and I want to bring the kids. And I was like, whose kids?
Jim Gaffigan. Everything is wonderful.
I spent the entire time applying and reapplying sunscreen, which thankfully makes my skin whiter.
Jim Gaffigan, a night of all new material. Saturday, March 29th, the venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit thundervalleyresort.com.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
T-Mobile home internet is all about speed, value.
What you doing, Zach?
First thing, there are so many benefits. You got to talk fast.
T-Mobile home internet ranks #1 in customer satisfaction for home wireless internet by J.D. Power.
Wow, you are good.
Try singing it. T-Mobile has price lock.
They won't raise your rate on internet.
Hulu and Paramount Plus on there.
Get T-Mobile home internet all in for just $55 a month with auto pay and any postpaid voice line. Additional terms apply for J.D. Power 2024 award information. Visit jdpower.com/awards.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. New Hondas are piling up, and that means big savings for you.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's Business Solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-990-1551. That's 800-990-1551.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's Business Solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Got Whitey's wish list coming up here. I always love to hear what Drapes thinks of that for the Kings and the Knicks. Before we get to it, Jay, I'm wondering if I could run down for you. I know you've already seen this, but love to get your views on the players the 49ers have seen sign with other teams. And maybe you could tell me, like, glad he's gone, don't really care, or that's going to hurt. Can we do that?
Sure, but most
Maybe
of them
there's
going to pretty
another-
much be the same because we'll see, though.
Okay. Let's see. Guard, I think this is with Green Bay. Aaron Banks, $77 million. All right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You get a good pick from him.
Okay. Charvarius Ward.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter because he wasn't in the plans, and the fact that Green and Lenore are your guys. Draper's over there signing. This is what the 49ers have already done.
No, but I'm saying, Jay, you're going to poo-poo all these moves.
Nope.
We didn't want them anyway.
No.
They
See,
were over the hill anyway.
That's what I just said.
That's the 49ers. Yeah.
I didn't say we didn't want them. I'm saying the 49ers have already said they're not bringing them back. So we're already we're good to go.
Yeah, so Ward, $60 million.
Yeah.
Well, I think this one hurts for Jay.
Yes.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Talanoa,
That's the one.
45 million.
Yeah, that one hurts.
There you go.
That one hurts because, first of all, he was in the house past Friday at the G1C supporting his family.
Yeah,
family of De'Aaron Fox, of course. And I thought that last year he came back. He looked good for a game or two, I believe, a game and a half, and then he hurt his hand. I was like, oh. And Mustafa is very good. I like Jair Brown. He just makes a few more mistakes than I think you need as a free safety. And so I was hoping that Talanoa Hufanga could drop back over to free safety and let Mustafa be strong safety. And I love that combo, but it looks like they're going to go with Jair Brown and Mustafa.
Jalen Moore, $30 million.
Yeah, too much money. Too much money. He didn't do what he was supposed to do in the league anyway. So
yeah, backup swing tackle, right? When
They'll grab somebody else.
Yeah, no surprise here, but Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, peace out.
Mm-hmm. And Elijah Mitchell, $3.5 million. Elijah Mitchell followed Jalen Moore, I think, both going to the Chiefs.
Yeah, hurt too much. Yeah. Why he played was fantastic. I will say this, though, fellas. I thought he didn't get ample enough time, when it came to really showcasing. And, of course, the 49ers leaned on CMC quite a bit. But I thought Elijah could have got more tick, not this past season, but the season before, and spelled CMC a little bit. So for me, it's just Hufanga. Now, you didn't ask about Greenlaw because he haven't signed, but it sounds like the 49ers are in a whole conversation with 3 other teams too. So if you ask me about Greenlaw, we can have that conversation. I don't want to see him go.
Real quick, Michael Silver, he tweeted this out, and I thought this was very interesting, fellas. He says, and I'm not saying Jay is doing this. I'm just pointing out what Michael Silver said. If you are celebrating your team's potential compensatory round picks for 2026, you're doing a lot of work to overcome a rough first day of free agency.
Wow.
Yeah,
so
let me say this, man. Let me say this, man, because I try and be super respectful. I think most people probably know where I stand when it comes to certain reporters. I ain't trying to hear all that. Guy? I ain't trying to hear all that. The fact of the matter is this. The 49ers, with these guys that Whitey has already talked about, they've already planned for these guys to be gone. And secondly, if we're sitting around crying, and no disrespect to the Jalen Moore, see, this is where it gets funny, because I don't want to have to down another person to be like, man, shut the hell up to someone else. The fact of the matter is Jalen Moore, we knew he was gone. These are the same guys that people are talking about, Aaron Banks needs to go. Jalen Moore it hasn't done his job since he's been in the NFL. Elijah Mitchell's been banged up. Now, all of a sudden, these guys are God's gift to the creation of football. So I don't really understand where reporters are really sitting on each side with that. The fact of the matter is, if you don't like the moves, or you don't like that, Lynch and the organization haven't done something to the best of your ability, then stand on that, though. Don't use something else to take shots at the organization. Stand on your 2 feet, big dog. That's all I'm saying.
Two more players to ask you about, Jay. Tight end Luke Farrell from Jacksonville, $20.25 million over 3 years, $11 million guaranteed. A blocking tight end. Do anything for you?
We'll see. It sounds like they're trying to replace a few guys that they've loved over the last. Charlie Warner's the guy that they feel like they're trying to replace, who was gone last year, of course, too.
And then finally, according to reports, the 49ers are looking at Jameis as a backup quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, shots out to Jameis.
You out on that?
Well, it doesn't really matter. Hopefully, if if our guy is healthy, then we won't see the backup. But I mean, Jameis is entertaining, right?
Yeah. Locker room guy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
motivational
real quick,
speaker.
Ian Rappaport, 19 minutes ago, and somebody said this on our YouTube chat, the Broncos are expected to sign Dre Greenlaw, 3-year, $35 million.
Yeah, that hurts. That one hurts.
Maybe
Is
they
he
shouldn't
the same
have played
player?
Maybe they shouldn't have played him at the end of the year and shown everyone how good he was.
Right.
Just kept that to themselves. Yeah, they're going to miss him.
Yeah, because he's one thing about him, and this is the tough part that I think the 49ers are going to miss. His intensity is something that the 49ers don't seem to hone when he's not there. Yeah.
Super Bowl champions if he hadn't gotten hurt.
Agreed.
Yeah. But he did get hurt, and they didn't. I know.
I'm not.
You saw. He looked at you.
You know what I mean? Dude, I ain't worried about that, man.
I was waiting for a reaction.
Yeah,
dude. I don't deal with teams below my team.
Oh, come on.
engage in that kind of stuff.
All right. Okay. All right. Real quick, Whitey's wish list for the Kings of the Knicks tonight. These are just things I would like to see. I'm hoping to see tonight. One, how about this, Drapes? Keep Josh Hart from running amok. On January 25th.
I don't want to remember that game, Whitey. I don't want to look back at that game. What happened?
He had 20 points and 18 rebounds and 11 assists.
Triple-double.
He dominated.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So he's the type of energy guy that can prey on a weary team. So we must not let that happen this evening. Two, let's attack the cat. 4th in the league in fouls committed. Keep him busy on defense.
Real quick on that, I agree 100%. When the Celtics played the Knicks, they attacked. They went after Cat. They put him in all the action.
Yes, yes.
Let's see if they
target him tonight.
Yep.
Yes. And then third and finally, how about a big fat birthday beam for Zach LaVine tonight?
What, a 30-piece wing dinner with a W?
Yeah.
And he has to be the lighter of the beam tonight, right?
Yes.
First time Zach LaVine is ever playing on his birthday. You know he's looking to show out. Yeah.
37 at least? What do you think?
Yeah, I like that. Real quick, too, as part of your wish list, and we continue this talk of, he's turned into a fan favorite already, right? Don't you think?
So is Valanciunas.
And Valanciunas.
Subject. Yes.
Yeah, these guys. And so, can I add another wish?
Please.
Valanciunas should have a field day. I know Mitchell Robinson is back. I get that. But he's light in the pants. Towns ain't ready for that smoke down low. So I need to see Valanciunas JV get back on track. 3 of 10 last night. I'm looking for a more efficient game.
All right. Thank you, Drapes. That's Whitey's wish list for tonight, as we all hope to see the Kings get back in the win column tonight. It'd be nice to see. Everybody needs it. The team needs it. The fans need it after last night.
I agree, man. We need a bounce back, high energy. This would be a great win. And I don't need to turn on the radio tomorrow and hear anybody say, well, they were without Brunson. I don't give a damn. They still got Cat, all-star, Bridges, solid player, OG, solid, Josh Hart, solid. Like Deuce McBride. This is still a good New York Knicks basketball team.
Yeah. Deuce McBride, by the way, I think he's a good player. He's been terrible. I think he's 4 for 24 or something.
Has he been struggling?
Yeah.
Lately?
Yes.
Yeah. They're struggling as a team. And, Deuce is one of those off the bench guys that, when Brunson is here with the team, a fan favorite in New York. But here's the thing too, Whitey. I looked at the numbers. These two teams, number 1 and number 2, in starters' minutes played per game.
Sure.
Will the bench maybe be the difference tonight? Because we know Tibbs going to play his starters 40 minutes a night. We're coming off a back-to-back. If LaRavia plays, where's our boy Markelle Fultz? And I know you don't want to talk about Markelle, but we need something from the bench tonight, too.
Yeah, I want to talk about him, but I just don't have a lot of good things to say. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what's going on, man. I just don't think he's in a flow, in a rhythm, And it's like the problem is, and we've talked about this with Devin Carter, who's been playing well as of late. We need wins right now. We don't have time for guys not to be able to impact the game soon as that. You know what I mean? And so I think Markelle is sort of caught in that situation where, if this was October, November, we could give him 10 minutes extended time to be out there. But now, if you out there 2-3 minutes, you turn the ball over twice, I got to get you out of there.
Right. Over the last 3 games, by the way, McBride is averaging 4.3 points, and he's 4 for 26.
Dang.
So give him the roll out the red carpet tonight, right?
You ain't letting Deuce shoot, though, right? Don't buy those numbers, Whitey. Last thing we need is this guy getting hot.
4 for 26.
A la Russell Westbrook. Dog, we just had Russell Westbrook go 4 of 7 from Derrick Jones Jr. just killed us from 3.
Yeah, he did. Why aren't the Kings finishing well? How can they finish more strongly? And who's actually playing for the Kings tonight? We're back with that next on Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, 149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. What? They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, because this deal's for a limited time. 149
for tax prep that's $149 or less. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Save Mart and McKee Brothers Plumbing and Rooter Incorporated. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. It's cold, and American Energy wants you to stay warm and make sure your system's operating safely. Here's the deal. A $49 tune-up inspection, which is regularly $119. That's a full safety and duct inspection. But guess what? If your system's over 10 years old, the tune-up is on them. That's right. It's free. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. And if you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Oh, by the way, breaking news, they're hiring right now. Here's the deal. They'll train you, full benefits, generous incentive-based pay. Just call today for more details at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Not only great deals from American Energy, but possibly a new career for you. Check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer & Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Ginger.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kip Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kip Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sacktown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Yeah, sorry, I got to get really close to the camera here because Drapes is talking to somebody with the Knicks, and as you can see, they're really getting into it here. Interesting conversation. As we're getting ready for the Kings and the Knicks. Yeah, sorry, you're on. Yeah, it's all right. No worries. Yeah. Who's your friend?
That's my guy Tyler right there.
Tyler.
Yeah, radio voice of the New York Knickerbockers. Exactly.
Get him on.
Isn't he? I thought he was coming on today. Well, didn't we have another guest lined up, Jay?
Yeah, it wasn't Tyler, though.
Oh, no, that's No, we got Pat O'Keefe at 5:30.
Okay.
We got Pat O'Keefe, ESPN New York.
Mm-hmm.
Should get my guy Tyler on now.
Yeah.
You're right there. Just say, hey, come here, Tyler. Can you come?
Hold on.
Just scream.
Radio?
Yeah. Come jump on the radio with us, Tyler.
What a nice guy. He's like, hey, I don't want to intrude. I don't want to impose.
And Tyler, I'm only bringing you on for one reason.
Okay.
One reason only. You said you're a big fan of me when I was in Boston.
That is
watch
true.
Me and Scal and him.
I grew up watching.
I was like, all right, let's bring Tyler on. This is a good guest right here. This is a good guest.
What an honor. Yes. I saw a couple of years ago, you got the play-by-play job out here.
Yes.
And I was always a fan of your work at the desk and filling in for Celtics games. And just great to see you doing your thing now, man.
Thank you, man. You got some good vocal cords there. You got the chops.
Gee, I haven't even warmed up yet. But thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. First trip to Sacramento. I got some.
I'm Kevin.
Hey,
very
Kevin,
nice
great
to meet you.
I got some good friends who are diehard King fans, so they tell me it's a great spot. I don't want you to light the beam tonight necessarily, but I'm a big fan of what's going on out here.
Team's been struggling a little bit, right?
Well, it's all about getting healthy at the right time. Tom Thibodeau always talks about, bringing your A game come playoff time. And the big question is, when can you get Jalen Brunson back? So that's kind of the big story. Right?
How bad was that ankle? It looked horrible, when you're watching it live.
Yeah.
Some people feared it might be more, but now it's just a sprained ankle. What can you tell us?
Yeah, the word is from the Knicks that they're going to reevaluate in 2 weeks, which is about a week and a half from now.
Okay.
That's just really all we know. But, if anyone can tough it out and play through pain, it's Jalen Brunson. It's just a matter of being smart about it. So we'll see what they say.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like being a young announcer for one of the most storied franchises in the association?
People used to make fun of me because I'm a Knicks fan. I was born in Connecticut, but then I grew up in Massachusetts, and they would always ask, what's your ultimate dream job? And I always say, you're going to laugh, but, I've always wanted to be the voice of the Knicks. I grew up on Houston and Spreewell. That was when I was 9 years old when they made the run to the championship. Only first 8 seed to do it until the Heat did it a couple of years ago. So, I'm still pinching myself. Little moments like being on the air now with Kyle, stuff like that.
Think about that.
You're laying that on a little thick at this point.
Oh, I get
little
it.
of that goes a long way.
Mail, right?
Too much. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, and that's what I'm learning here.
Yeah, not too much, but you're getting there.
But
that's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. No, I get that. So it's stuff like that. Or we're just, Mike Breen has become a mentor of mine, giving me pats on the back after my first few games. So little things like that. It's a dream come true. I feel very lucky.
Mike Breen, and obviously I know one of the nicest guys. Like, just talk to me about, your relationship and what he's meant to you. Even me, when I see him, we'll talk and he'll give me some pointers and things like that. Always has time to talk.
That's really what it is. And our coordinating producer, Kevin Meininger, makes the joke that I was more excited to get a phone call from Mike Breen welcoming me to MSG Networks than it was to get the actual job. Like, he left me a voicemail one day after they gave me the offer. He said, hey, Tyler, it's Mike Breen. Welcome to MSG. And I still have that saved on my voice.
Say, got to save that.
Oh, for sure. Cool. So he just gone out of his way to give me little pointers here and there. But more than anything, just making me feel like I belong, which, you get imposter syndrome every once in a while because it's Mike Breen, man. His backup is Kenny Albert. This is a legacy that you just want to do your best to represent. And I think I'm lucky where I've grown up watching those guys. So I kind of know how to at least do my best impersonation to fill their shoes as much as possible.
That's Tyler Murray. He's the voice of the Knicks, and he's also the president of the Kyle Draper fan club.
That's right.
Congratulations.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah. You understand, Tyler. Working with this guy and the producer, Jay, they never give me any love. So anytime somebody wants to, shower some praise on me, give me my flowers, they're more than welcome on our show.
And that's why I wanted to come on today. I felt like you weren't getting enough credit, Kyle, so I'm happy to be here to do that.
What's it like watching a Knicks team that, and I know you get asked about this all the time, with Tibbs coaching that doesn't defend well?
It gives you hope, weirdly, for the postseason when you get time to game plan for a 7-game series and really dig into tape. Jalen Brunson has said many times that Tom Thibodeau is the most prepared coach he's ever played for. And, I'm sure that includes Jay Wright and Rick Carlisle, who are, at the absolute top of the game. So it gives you confidence that hopefully they can figure out how to maximize the group they have. Mitchell Robinson being back now, he's expected to play his 4th game of the season.
Right.
That's really been the anchor of those great Tom Thibodeau defenses the last few years when he's been healthy. And I think they did a great job taking their time and not rushing him back to make sure he's as healthy as possible.
When you look at this Knicks team, obviously the offensive numbers jump off the page, but no Brunson. Who does that sort of fall on to not replace his, 26, 27 points per game, but be that leader out there? We know Cat is an all-star, does his thing, but is there a perimeter player that you're looking at that, okay, no Jalen, It's your turn now.
Yeah, you'll hear from the team that it's going to have to be collective. You can't replace him with one guy, but it's been a great opportunity, at least through one game, I think, to feature Mikal Bridges a bit more.
Yeah.
I think it was 8 out of 12 against the Clippers, really efficient, 20-plus points. And, he's still settling into that new role, going from the number one guy in Brooklyn to being just a great 3-and-D guy with a little bit more than that with the Knicks. So I think you're going to hopefully see him really take over. And if you get that momentum built toward the postseason, and then you get your captain back, you might see the best version of this Knicks team right when they're hoping to see it. But, yeah, I've been a huge Mikal Bridges fan all year, so look for him tonight.
As Tyler Murray, and you can tell, this is a guy, sounds like he's done some baseball, and in fact, he did the Woo Sox.
Wow. You've been Googling. Who gave you the Google? That's
right. The Woo
right
Sox?
here.
Hold up now.
Yeah,
Hold up.
voice of the Woo Sox.
We don't call them the Woo Sox. I know what they are, Tyler, but they're the Paw Sox. From as far as I'm concerned.
That is true. Do the people of Sacramento care about minor league baseball drama in the East Coast? No. It's the AAA affiliate of the Boston Red Sox. They've been in Worcester since 2021. And, that was kind of the main job. But, in the offseason, you do as much basketball. And for me, it was a lot of hockey as well.
Okay.
So, very lucky to have landed with the Worcester Red Sox. For one reason or another, it's, I guess, a high-profile minor league job. They've had 13 broadcasters go on to MLB, NBA, or the NFL.
Would you mind just doing for us, like, here's a 2-1 pitch and it's up high or whatever?
You can find some stuff online, I'm sure.
Wow. Okay. All right.
You really have to. It has to be.
Tyler, this is a legend you're talking to right here.
Sure.
This is a legend right here.
Yeah,
put some respect.
I can tell.
He asked you to do something, you do it.
No, fair enough. They asked us to come on the air, and we're here with that. It's basketball season, guys.
I got you.
I don't want to one on air.
I've overstepped.
No.
Let me ask you, as you prepare for this game, what stands out about the Kings? Because, as you know, they've been through so much tumult this year. And then last night, just an absolute, dagger. What stands out to you about the way this team is playing and the way they're put together?
The Knicks haven't had to face this team without Sabonis for so long, and he's just such a handful. So I'm also interested in how much the rest disparity could favor the Knicks. This is tied for their biggest rest advantage of the year.
Oh, my.
Overtime plus a back-to-back for the Kings. The Knicks just had the last 2 days off. And, they were coming off a back-to-back of their own. But for a tight rotation without Jalen Brunson and an all-hands-on-deck matchup, perhaps, you maybe give the Knicks the advantage. But you're right about the three-point defense. Some of it is bad luck where teams are hitting contested threes. But the question is, how many good three-point looks can the Kings generate? And Zach LaVine, 2 games against the Knicks with the Bulls, 30-plus points. He absolutely lights out from 3. And he had 7 and 8 assists in those 2 games.
Yeah.
So LaVine has to be contained by the Knicks somehow. They haven't been able to do it this year.
And it's his birthday today.
He's turning 30.
Yeah.
Today.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he's I'm 34, by the way. So
no way.
He said, right. So I don't know.
I got
old.
T-shirts older than you, man.
Right.
Seriously.
I might have one on.
We said the young thing. I'm acting like I'm a teenager right here. But yeah, I'm a rookie. Absolutely, I deserve all the hazing you can throw at me. So
no hazing. This is
you've been
incredible. It's very admirable what you're doing.
Yeah. My last question is this, Tyler. I grew up in Philly, worked in Boston. I know how arrogant Knicks fans can be. I get it.
They're prideful.
I call it arrogant.
Okay, fair.
But how do they view their championship aspirations, expectations this season? Or do they is it Knicks mania in there and we're going to go all the way? Or do they understand, we're a tier below those top teams? Because you haven't beaten the top 2 team all year long.
That's the truth. I will say there's been some consternation about, when the Nuggets and Grizzlies were the 2 seeds, nobody said, the Knicks are 4-0 against the Nuggets and Grizzlies out west. But when the Lakers
got up there,
let's look at their record against the top 2 teams. So it's a little bit of that. But I think, Jalen Brunson said recently, we have all the pieces in the locker room. It just has to come together the right way. So that's kind of what you're banking on. Mitchell Robinson was kind of if we get him back, let's see what it looks like. And he hasn't gotten into, full minutes dosage in the rotation yet. So there's still hope on that end. But, the fact of the matter is the Cavs are having a historically great season.
Yeah.
The Celtics are the defending champions for a reason. So, this is the best Knicks team in a long, long time. So there's optimism there. But, when you look long-term, it's not going to be an easy path to the finals. So that's definitely part of the conversation.
Tyler, thank you very much. Really nice to meet you, seriously. And I'll leave you with this offer. You don't have to answer now, but just keep it in mind. You're a big Draper fan, right?
Oh, for sure.
My first favorite basketball player I ever had was Walt Frazier.
Wow.
If you ever get me Walt Frazier's autograph, I will get you Draper's home address? Just think about it. You don't have to answer now.
Wow.
Give him the P.O. box. He can get the P.O. box.
However, I can make up for not doing the home run call or whatever.
Oh, no.
I will do my best to get you Clyde's information for sure.
Real quick, though, Tyler, before you go, have you watched Clyde do his work? I called the game out there at MSG. Most broadcasters show up a little early, Clyde walks in like right before tip pretty much.
Yeah,
like that's an OG right there.
He's been studying so hard at home, and then he shows up.
Game time is on time.
Yeah, no, he's incredible. I saw a tweet recently, like, it's fun to have Clyde. He's got the great rhymes. He knows the history, but then sometimes he'll drop the exact contract details, money and years just of a player. You would never think he has that prep done, but he loves the league. He loves the Knicks, and he puts in the homework for sure.
Yes. Thank you very much.
All right, Tyler.
Gentlemen, thanks for having me.
Yes.
All right, man.
What a fun time.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick time out, come back. We'll hear what Doug Christie's pregame comments are when we come right back. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Hey, daydreamer. Did we catch you thinking about your dreams? With Wells Fargo Premier, a team can help you plan for them. So let's imagine your biggest dream. Not the easy one, the one behind it. The one you work towards every day and every night. Can you see it? Then we can help you plan for it. Ready to start planning for your dreams? You can at wellsfargo.com/getpremier.
The Amish have a reputation for craftsmanship, determination, and quality. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Those virtues sound quite similar to the Keys family and the day-to-day values on display at Naturewood. The Amish furniture craftsmanship begins with the finest hardwood, shaping and molding the raw materials into one-of-a-kind art. In addition to the classic styles long sought and revered by discriminating furniture lovers, Naturewood Home Furnishings offers a vast selection that includes transitional, modern, farmhouse, arts and crafts, and other stunning styles, all available in the ultimate Amish standard of excellence built over centuries. All Naturewood Amish furniture is on sale right now for a limited time. Let the Naturewood team guide you through their selection of Amish furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
When it's all on the line, when everything's on the line, that's when you need a big-time closer, which is especially true when it comes to your garage door, which is why I proudly recommend National Garage Door. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. Whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE broken spring experts. That's the number one problem with garage doors. Nobody fixes them better than National Garage Door. Our garage door was not sounding very good, and we convinced ourselves, well, it's okay, even though it flapped and it whined and it moaned, and the new garage door, whisper quiet. We got the new garage door from National Garage Door. Very excited about that. National Garage Door selling quality Rainer branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. So if you have garage door needs, you just need somebody to come out, take a look. Old one's coming apart. You're looking to improve your curb appeal. Well, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 916-638-4554. That is National Garage Door.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Like the beam for Sacramento Kings. We the beam team, hey. Like the beam for Sacramento Kings. Like the beam. Like the beam for Sacramento Kings.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Well, I forgot, since the game is at 7:30, Doug Christie won't be speaking for a little bit. So that's on me.
We're excited, though. We're, with that anticipation. We want to hear from Coach soon.
Yeah. Coach was a little spicy last night.
Yeah, a little bit. It is a little, it's
Kung Pao
loss. Yeah, right. He had that 4-star spice. What I mean? That wasn't 1 or 2 stars. He had that 4-star spice. What I'm learning and seeing, and we knew this. how much Doug of a competitor Doug is. I mean, the dude hates losing. Like, and we saw it last night. To lose in that fashion and then have to deal with and meet with the media. He was a little spicy.
Yeah,
after that loss last night.
Obviously, having played in the NBA for as long as he had. There is, he's been through these losses, but it's different when you're the coach, right?
Yeah.
When your team loses, like, we lost and I could have done this or that. But when you're the coach, it's like, what could I have done? It's on me.
Yes. Yes. It's, and then too, you start to look back, man, should I have done this substitution?
Right.
Should I have called this play? And you start not necessarily second guessing, but, Monday morning quarterbacking it a little bit, should I have played Jake?
Especially when you've just started as a coach.
Right. Exactly. But that the thing I did like about Doug in his post-game press conference, he's taking ownership of the team. You know what I mean? He's putting his stamp on this team, and that's what you want from a coach, whether you're interim or not. You know what I mean? The buck stops with him, like he said yesterday. Win or lose, defense, offense, whatever. Ultimately, it's about him. And so I like that tact. And here's the thing that I appreciate listening to Doug. He's never called out an individual player. It's more of a team.
Right.
It's unacceptable.
Right.
But you've never heard him say, so-and-so got to be like it's and if he does criticize, he talked about it. He says it's all from love and that the players know that. So he's learning too, man.
It's a two-way street. You can't force your will on a team, but he definitely has made his mark. It's definitely his team. He's made an impression and the players have bought in. And so you watch this team, there are, I think, characteristics of a Doug Christie team that the Kings are exemplifying.
Yes, I agree with you. And, when I look at the Kings, lost last night, loss against Denver, outside of that Golden State game, I never felt like they didn't play hard. They didn't try. Like,
that's
the results,
the biggest one. Yeah.
Right. The results might not always be there. We all know that. But they're in every game.
Mm-hmm.
They're, the will to win and fight is something that I think, because let's be honest, earlier in this season, we just found ways to lose left and right, man. It was just like, I didn't recognize our team early on. And so they had to shake some things up and bring Doug in. And, they've had some success, 20-12, 8-4 over their last 12 games. So now tonight, you got to get this one.
Yes.
You got to get this one.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's see what Trey has to say. Trey, thanks for hanging. What's up?
Drive guys, my guys.
Trey.
What's going on?
Yo. What's up?
How are you?
What's up? On my way to the game, man. Me and my lady on the way to the game, man. So
okay, player.
So look, Friday is gone, right? Friday's moved on. Fox moved on. We need to move on. This is to the Kings fans. Move on. Make sure you're celebrating. But Zach stole the show that night. Keegan Murray, I'm still hearing noise about him and what he's not doing. Man, this dude, he's for real. Look into his eyes. He locked in. The tenacity on defense. Sometimes he gets the blinders on a little bit, but he can work on that. You know what I mean? As far as the fouls, I always feel like it even out. It ain't no perfect system when it comes to fouls. I care more so about what happened in the past when you got Jokic and all these other players. Every time they go for the hole, they like, and the refs just blow the whistle, and I'm just like, damn, like he really didn't even do nothing. You know what I mean? So I think we need to be more concerned with that. And then last but not least, I want to say to all the hoopers out there, I want y'all to pay attention to the game last night. Keon Ellis should have committed at some point instead of showing on defense. And you gotta rely on your weak side help and hope that guy's gonna come over there and cover James Harden at a certain point, you got to recognize that Kawhi is going to take that shot. Keep to the win tonight for us, man. Keep hard off the boards, man. That's all I got. I'm a Die King, man. I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you, Trey. Yeah, Trey bringing up that final possession, and Doug Christie had addressed that as well. So
yeah. Because here's the thing too about that, Whitey. As a defender, you got to know clock situation. You don't go when it's 8 seconds on the clock, but at some point you got to say, all right, it's 3 seconds. Even if Kawhi made the pass, the clock is running down, and I got my help. And so you got to notice that in the thick of things. And like Trey just said, you got to trust your help behind you too.
Yeah. Let's see what TC has to say. TC, it's time for check it. How are you, TC?
Mic check. Drake, what's up, man? I've been missing you the last time I've been calling in, man. What's up, big dog?
Doug, you've been boycotting me. Every time I'm on, you scared to call in. What's up with that?
Nah, hey, man, you don't knock it off, Drake. Hey, we ain't even gonna go there, man. That's the time when we see each other, man. We gonna. You know what he's doing.
You crazy, man.
Why do you too,
crazy.
Man?
Yes, sir.
Jay, thank you. Hey, listen now. Hey, let's keep it simple. Hey, I'm with that last caller, bro. We done moved on. We got that game out the way. Zach, hey, listen, before we start, that's what I was talking about with Zach. Y'all, hey, well, wait, let me back up. Whitey, Drake, y'all know about Zach, but that's what I was trying to tell these King. Listen, we didn't get no scrub, y'all, when everybody was mad. I said, this dude got to get his feet up under him. Now everybody loved this guy, right? We didn't get no scrub, and I'm with you, Whitey. It's too early to tell, but I think Monty nailed this, bro. I mean, all that money we was going to give that dude and to pull off Zach LaVine with Jake the Snake and Valanciunas and all that, big dog. In my opinion, this trade was a win. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna go so far right now. I'm gonna give it an A+ just based on how all three of them dudes are playing. It's an A+ in my book. That's what I'm gonna do. And I ain't talking about purple favoritism, Zach Kingdom. I'm being honest, bro. It's an A+, and you know how I felt about Money. I was like, Money has to get up out of here. But with his back up against the wall, what he did, him and West. Bro, I got to tip my hat to them dudes, bro. I'm going to fall back for right now. That's all. Listen, and also, when on Domas kick back. The whole Sam Amick article, I don't know how much of that is true. I know Sam ain't going to just jump out there and start selling whoop tickets. But Domas, I'm going to tell you this. You talking about credibility. You talking about you want to see what's clear and what's ahead. What's clear and what's ahead is Doug. Doug is your guy. You got that. Fall back, Domas. Get better and accept what we got going on and move forward, bro. You trying to sit down with the organization talking about we out here to see what's moving forward. You already see what's moving forward. It's Doug Christie. That's the dude you wanted. So kick back. That's all I got, man.
Nice.
Coming in hot.
Yes. Talk about spicy. When we come back, Pat O'Keefe joins us from ESPN New York with a look at the Knicks and how easy it will be to beat them tonight for the Kings. That's next on Sack Down Sports.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. When buying a new grill, every detail matters. For March, grab a $149 gift with purchase of every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill, including a pizza lover starter kit and much more. More March savings include up to $79 off Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium stainless steel that boasts quality. See how Napoleon will help you achieve the perfect grilling experience. Visit Green Acres Nursery today with your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the U.S. Only Hair Grow contains Tocogaya, a powerful antioxidant that has received a U.S. patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using Hair Grow saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic. at newnordicusa.com or in stores at your local CVS.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed a musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. New Hondas are piling up, and that means big savings for you.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
T-Mobile home internet is all about speed, value.
What you doing, Zach?
First thing, there are so many benefits. You got to talk fast.
T-Mobile home internet ranks #1 in customer satisfaction for home wireless internet by J.D. Power.
Wow, you are good.
Try singing it. T-Mobile has price lock.
They won't raise your rate on internet.
Hulu and Paramount Plus on them.
Get T-Mobile home internet all in for just $55 a month with auto pay and any postpaid voice line.
Conditions terms apply. For JD Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Northwest Exteriors wants to keep you cool all season long. Trusted in Sacramento for heating and cooling systems. Book your tune-up today as part of our 30th anniversary special. Call 888-TRUST-NW or visit trustnorthwest.com.
Simply the best. Trust Northwest.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
As we get ready for the Kings and the Knicks tonight, our next guest, well, if there's a New York team, he covers them. From ESPN New York, he's been with MSG. Pat O'Keefe, nice enough to join us. Thanks for your time, Pat. Let me ask you this. The Kings obviously are scratching to try to move up in the play-in standings. What is at stake for the Knicks this evening?
This evening is just to get right. This is only the second time this season that they enter a game on a 3-game losing streak. They've been really good bouncing back from losses. They've had very few 2-game losing streaks, let alone 3-game losing streaks. Obviously, this one feels a lot different because they're without their best player and they're without their most important player. So it's been 2 games since their first time on the floor since the Jalen Brunson injury. And that came on the second night of a back-to-back against the Clippers on Friday. And frankly, the offense struggled. They only scored 95 points in that game. They had the weekend off, a couple of days to practice, a couple of days to get used to life without Jalen Brunson. So to go back to your question, what's at stake tonight is just to get right for the Knicks.
Hey, Pat, Kyle Draper here, man. Thanks for jumping on with us. I'm looking at Cat's numbers, and obviously over the last week or so, they've been down dealing with the tragic loss of his friend to cancer. Just where do you think Cat is right now in his mind frame, and, what are you expecting from him tonight?
Oh, I mean, obviously, this is a guy who's been through a lot throughout the course of his career, and he's had a lot of personal tragedy, as we know, through the years. And this has been tough for him. He was away from the team for one game, the Golden State game earlier the week, where he joined them for the back-to-back losses in Los Angeles. But you're right, and even beyond that, and not to just kind of single out the personal loss that he has endured over the past week, but even prior to that, the numbers have been down the last couple of games. He's been out of the lineup with various ailments, whether it's a knee injury in recent weeks that has caused him to miss some time. The numbers for the season are phenomenal still, 24 points, over 13 rebounds a game. But I would say over the last month, they've dipped a little bit. Obviously, when you're looking at on this Knicks team, no Jalen Brunson, who has to pick up the scoring slack. The first two places you look are Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges. And they were the two leading scorers for the Knicks on Friday against the Clippers. But this team, if they're going to be as successful as they were or win at reasonably the same pace they were with Brunson, they're going to need more from Towns and with Bridges.
Pat O'Keefe with us from ESPN New York. Pat, if I were coaching the Kings tonight, which if I am, they haven't told me yet, so I don't think I am. But if I were, one of the ways I'd try to handle Cat is to go right at him. I know he commits a lot of fouls. Has that been an issue? I know he's having a fine year, but has that been an issue for him, foul trouble or committing too many personal fouls?
Yeah, it has been. Not so much in recent weeks. There was a stretch around January, early February, where it seemed like he was in foul trouble almost every night. Now, over the last couple of weeks, that hasn't been as big of an issue. I think the return of Mitchell Robinson as the backup center has had a lot to do with that. When Robinson is in the game, the Knicks are more defensive-minded. They've also started playing alongside each other. Robinson didn't play the last game because it was the second night of a back-to-back, but in the previous game, they spent some time playing alongside each other. So in those scenarios, Towns doesn't take on the tougher defensive assignment. That's what Mitchell Robinson is out there for. But, yeah, throughout his career, Towns is someone who has been susceptible to foul trouble. That has popped up in his first season in New York. But the last couple of weeks, it hasn't been as much of an issue for Cat.
Interesting.
All right, Pat O'Keefe joining us. Hey, Pat, when I'm looking at the numbers, obviously the Knicks have been an elite offensive team, defensively not so much. Can you just talk about Tibbs? And he's known as a defensive guy, defensive mastermind. What has led to this offense being so efficient this season?
Well, statistically, they have the best starting five offensively in the NBA. Now, there's a couple of reasons for that. And this is obviously when they have Jalen Brunson, which they will not tonight. But you have two all-star starters in Brunson and Towns. You have Mikal Bridges, who's averaged over 20 points a game in the NBA. OG Anunoby can score. And Josh Hart scores 14, 15 points per game. The other part is they play a lot of minutes. Tom Thibodeau's starters play more minutes collectively than any starting five in the NBA. So they're on the floor more. Therefore, the offensive production is greater. So those are two reasons why. The fact that you don't really have a weak spot in the starting lineup offensively, and the fact that they're on the floor so much. The defense is, if you're looking, at ways that this team needs to improve between now and the playoffs, it clearly is defensively. And one of the first places you look is 3-point field goal percentage defense. The Knicks give up the highest percentage of made three-pointers among all 30 teams in the NBA. And that's something that has really hurt them the last couple of months. So this is interesting because this is a team that has been carried by its offense much more than its defense. And in the 5 years, including this one under Tom Thibodeau, before now, that has not been the case.
Pat O'Keefe with us. He covers the Knicks. Pat, I don't mean to put you on the spot here because I know you're focused on the Knicks, but I'm curious what your view from out of market is on the Kings and where they are right now. This is a different Kings team than the one that the Knicks demolished on January 25th. But what do you think of where the Kings are right now, especially after all the change they've been through?
Yeah, you mentioned that January game at Madison Square Garden. That's the only time I've seen them in person this season. Not indicative of who they are, obviously, and they are a vastly different team. They're a team that I think if everybody's healthy, if everybody's available to play, I think has perhaps even more talent, I guess, throughout the rotation than it did before the moves were made. Yeah. I mean, you have 3, 4, 5 guys on the floor, I think, that can hurt you at all times. I don't think it's as concentrated. Now, I don't know that you have the high-end production you don't have the high-end production at the point guard position, obviously, that you had with De'Aaron Fox. But I do think that there's more areas on the court now where they can hurt you. I mean, the biggest issue with Sacramento, as I see it, is the conference that they're in. I mean, at 33-30, if they were in the Eastern Conference with that record, they'd probably be in the top 6 right now and clear well clear, in fact, of the play-in tournament. So they're a good team, but there's a lot of good teams in the Western Conference. Do they have a chance to move up to 8 to 7, maybe even to 6? Yeah, I mean, they're right there. The problem is they have a lot of teams to jump over.
Hey, Pat, I look at Mikal Bridges. I'm a huge fan of his. And, so much has been made of his shot this season. He has been streaky from behind the arc. What do you think's going on there? And how big is his three-point shooting for this Knicks team?
It's been one of the most interesting storylines of the season for the Knicks because he started off very slowly. And that was understandable because he completely had to change his role. When he was in Brooklyn the last year and a half, he was the number one option, but he was the number one option on a team that didn't win a lot. But he was scoring 23 to 25 points per game. The Knicks didn't need him to be that guy. I mean, they had Brunson, then they got Towns. They needed Bridges just to be the third scoring option and play terrific defense. And his first month and a half in New York, he struggled on both ends of the floor. But in the month of December, through most of the month of January, he played his best basketball of the season. I mean, during those 2 months, he shot above 40% from downtown. He shot nearly 50% from the field. He was averaging over 20 points per game over a 2-month stretch. And you figured he had turned the corner, figured out his role in New York, and it was going to be, quote-unquote, smooth sailing from then. But over the last month, he's really struggled again. The shot hasn't been falling as consistently. And more concerning for me has been the fact that he hasn't been aggressive looking for his shot. There have been games where he's had 5 field goal attempts, 6 field goal attempts. They don't need him to be a 25, 28 a game scorer like he has been, but they do need him to be more aggressive than attempting in the neighborhood of 5 or 6 field goal attempts a game.
Pat O'Keefe, ESPN New York. Pat, thank you so much for your Knicks insight. We appreciate it very much. Hope you enjoy the game. We hope we get to talk to you again soon.
You too, guys. Looking forward to this tonight. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Pat.
Thank you very much. Somebody who knows the Knicks more a little bit. Interesting. I really appreciate, asking people around the league, what do you think of the Kings?
Yeah.
Because I know they're focused on their own teams, but they may have more talent than they did before, which is what
right.
you've been pointing out.
Yeah. And Pat's saying it's the conference they're in, if they're in the East. And I agree with Pat, talent-wise on paper, this team is better than a 9 seed.
Think they should move back to Rochester or
right,
Cincinnati?
Right, Kansas City and stuff like that, No, I'm just saying, seriously, Whitey, I'm bullish on this team. The only issue is this team didn't come into training camp together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like with 20 games left, it's like we don't have a whole lot of time to gel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like putting a heat lamp on the nails to make them dry, and you don't know nothing about that. My daughter,
I can figure it out.
Yeah.
You've been on that Manny and Petty movement, huh?
Yeah, don't know nothing about that. Throw this team under the heat lamp, get them things nice and done. Oh man.
Mm-hmm. Doug Christie should be getting ready to address the media. We'll find out what he has to say when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Northwest Exteriors.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. A mix of clouds and sunshine on Tuesday. Morning temperatures will be in the low 40s. Afternoon high still around 70 degrees, but there will be a stronger onshore breeze in the evening. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Spring is in the air, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping for new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Meanwhile at Xfinity. Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered the fastest connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do! Yeah! Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with 2 people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speed vary. Not guaranteed.
When an overwhelmed injury victim calls Ashton or Price, we immediately remove their legal burden and introduce them to the very best medical care in the region. They focus on their health, and we handle all the rest. When they reach the end of their medical journey and are reunited with happiness and hope, we unleash our decades of legal experience to obtain maximum compensation. We are real, local, experienced litigators and snappy dressers too. Consultation's free, and there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet, and we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place...
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5, exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Look at that. We get to view of Kyle Draper getting his game uniform on there. He went with a tie, got the tie, but not going to put the tie on yet, huh?
No, I probably will while we do the show here.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Put people on the YouTube. You want a lesson, you know what I mean? A little tutorial.
Is a high flyer here? I saw him a minute ago because I know there was talk of that tie off between you and high flyer.
He got scared. He saw the tie I had today and ran off. I don't know where he went. I don't know. I did see him floating around here.
Yeah, there was a lot of bold talk on both sides. That was months ago, but we haven't seen that yet. So something to look forward to. The tie off. He was adamant that he would match and surpass your tie game.
He might be mad at us or something. Remember, High Flyer used to always jump on our show. You know what I mean? He'd get here like an hour early and try to Debo his way onto our show. Now he don't even come up and hang out anymore.
He was here. It's even worse. He was here, and then maybe he went down to hear what Doug Christie had to
say.
Yeah. We will be joining Doug when his address to the media begins here as we get ready for big game for the Kings. Big game for the Knicks, but much bigger for the Kings. And by the way, we haven't talked enough about Devin Carter today because he's been playing well.
He's been playing pretty good basketball, man. And that tip dunk he had last night was impressive. And, look at that, Whitey. Look at that at the basket. The Knicks, dude, they ain't going to be able to hit nothing. They had like 4 balls stuck in the net up there. And
at one time,
That's bad luck right there, if you ask me. Well, I hope so, right? But no, Devin Carter has supplanted, Markelle Fultz. Remember, we thought Markelle Fultz would come in and beat a guard that, gets the most minutes coming off the bench at that position. And in the last 3 games, it's been our boy Devin Carter.
I still think the Kings could really use what Markelle Fultz should be bringing to the party, but he's just been kind of not accomplishing much in his limited minutes the last couple of games.
Yeah, and it's the turnovers too. The turnovers have been bad, and so we'll see if he gets another shot out there tonight. But you've always said you're trying to stack these wins, win these games. You don't have time for mistakes out there on the court, and so I'm still a big Markelle fan. Honestly, Whitey, I would love for him to get 5 or 6 minutes just in a row. Just to get a sort of a rhythm going. But, we just can't afford that luxury right now.
Devin Carter, getting back to Devin Carter, he also played well Friday night.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Last few games, this guy's made an impact. And, Katie's talked about it on the broadcast. I think that stint, it was a 3-game stint in the G League in which he averaged 25 points per game or something, got his confidence going, got, his legs back under him. And, it's interesting. I don't think Doug is hesitant to put him on the floor right now. Speaking of Doug, let's listen to the Kings head coach. Here's his pregame press conference.
Whether he's going to be able to go tonight or not?
He's going to be dealing with our medical staff, but as of now, he's out.
Okay. Secondly, last night, rough game. Just where are you guys at coming back from such a tough loss at the end and, physically extending yourself, flying back home and all that stuff?
It hurts, man. I mean, but this is what this league does. It's painful. A lot of different things happen, and you gotta, it's not for the, faint of hearts. You gotta bring it. And that's what I expect them to do tonight. I don't see why, it's a back-to-back. Everyone plays it and no one cares. So it's not like we're the only ones that have back-to-backs and overtime games and last second left hand cross the lane over a 7-footer buzzer beaters, with 2 bounces on the hoop. Pretty solid.
Doug, I know you've talked before about it. It's not about individual defenders. It's about the team defense. Specifically, what have you seen over the last handful of games where the team has really grown and bonded on that end of the floor?
I would say probably the communication has been a big area. Also the consistency. There's some breakdowns. We're going to face some breakdowns, but the consistent level of physicality and making sure that they feel us on the defensive end, the activity has been there. But probably the communication, like I'm seeing them communicate in ways that I hadn't seen them communicate before. The physicality is there in ways that I really want to see, even the multiple efforts, making sure that you can test, like, some get away from you and that's just part of the game. It's whoever makes the least amount of mistakes. So it's not like we're going to be perfect. But when I go back and I watch the tape, I like what I see from the way that they're approaching defensively. Yeah.
Along those same lines.
What's up, my guy?
Along the same lines, do you think this group is getting to a point where on a night in, night out basis, they kind of expect for them to compete at a high level defensively, which maybe wasn't true earlier on in the year?
I see what you're doing there, man. Listen, there's a level of competition that I expect. Period. It's just how I get down. So I'm not going to say what was there and what wasn't there. It's what I'm going to expect and what they have been willing to give up. And that's like, I love them for that. And that's just how we're going to rock. When you come up in here, you know that you're about to get touched on. And if whatever happens from there happens. So I see what you're doing, man. What up, family?
Is that it? Yeah.
Well, an abbreviated.
Oh, where the local media at? What's going on here? What the hell? What everybody doing down
there?
Well,
Coach said, man, I see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
Like that.
Dug a little salt in there?
No, I'm just saying, man, I'm expecting some. And we cut in. Was he talking about Malik when we first went on with them?
That's
where
a
he
great
said,
question.
He said, as of right now, he's out.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
I was assuming so, but again, yeah, we didn't hear.
Or was that a LaRavia? Or, you know what I mean? It could have been a LaRavia.
Not sure.
Yeah, I missed that.
We'll try to get some clarification on that for you, but that was Doug Christie pregame. Real quick here, because we just got a few minutes. You want to go over what Doug had to say, or do you want to get into some Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz? Your call, Drapes. Either one is fine. Either one's fine.
Yeah, we just heard from Doug. I'll smack Jay up real quick if he's all right with you, Jay. As Doug would say, I'm gonna touch him up.
I'm gonna touch him up a little bit.
All right, Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz for March the 10th, which is brought to you by Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Who won the last contest? Do we know?
Come on, man. I'm like a 5-time defending champ right now.
I don't even remember.
All right.
Matter of fact, I should take a step back at this point and allow other contenders to play this game.
All right, Jay, you're up first here, and we're not sure we'll get it all in.
Nah, we're not. We got 2 minutes
here. Yeah.
Yeah, we got 2 minutes.
So maybe just a couple here. This date, what year one? This date, what year two?
What year one? How about that? What year one?
All right. This date, what year one? Pete Rose collects 2 hits in his spring training debut with the Reds.
Oh, man.
You can have Drapes go first, or you can go first.
Drapes goes first.
Yeah. What
Pete
year?
Rose?
Pete Rose collects 2 hits in his spring training debut with the Reds. This date, what year?
1969.
1969, Jay?
Oh, 68. It's way before that.
Yes, 1963. Point goes to Jay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Drake.
He's part of the
This
Big
thing
Red
was
Machine in the
too.
70s, baby.
1963, 1987, 1998, and Who Am I?
Give me a Who Am I?
Who am I?
Ooh, that's a new one.
Today marks the anniversary of the night I scored 62 points in a game, the most in Orlando Magic history. Who am I? Tracy McGrady, Dwight Howard, or Vince Carter? Didn't give me the year. That might give it away. Who am I? Today marks the anniversary of the day I scored 62 points in a game, the most in Orlando Magic history. Am I Tracy
McGrady?
Tracy McGrady is right.
You're right.
2004. Yeah.
These boys.
All right, Jay. 63, 87, 1998.
Now, real quick, we got literally a minute. If I get this, do I win, or is Drake's gonna say, "Oh, that's an ass trick"? What do you want me to do?
We could have had two questions.
No, you lied to yourself.
If he gets it, yeah. If he gets it, he wins. If he misses it, you win.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. Winner take all right here.
All right. What year won?
Let's see. It's 87, 98, or 1963.
Okay, I'm going long range. 1963. Make it difficult.
1963. It's the closest to. Do you want Drapes to go first?
Of course I do.
All right. Wilt scores 70 and a Warrior lost to Syracuse. How many times in his career did Wilt score 70 or more points in a single game, Drapes? It's for the win. I'm glad everybody gets a hand in this one.
70 or more.
High flyer here. He can help you if you want.
See, I keep it fair. If it was Drapes, he would have took the easy route one.
25.
25.
Oh, 26. He got to be like 26.
70 more points in a game.
70 or more points in a game?
I got him. I said him.
I'm going long range.
Has a win.
I was going to say 10 in the beginning. I was going to say 10.
Yeah. 70's a lot.
I was going to say 10, but then Drake's like 25. I'm going 26 then.
You know, if I would have said 8, he would have been like 9 or something.
Yeah.
Like,
I actually was going to say 10.
Yeah. Right next
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Short game, but a well-played game. Thanks for being with us.
That's an asterisk, man. That's a championship. I don't believe that
That's
one.
the bubble championship.
Yeah, that was, man. Yeah.
Yeah. We're back with you tomorrow. We got game night next. The High Flyer and Scott Marsh from the Gold One Center, where the Kings are taking on the Knicks tonight. That's next on Sacktown Sports.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. The changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. You already know. eBay. Things people love.